Oh, I love you. Yes. Oh, I love you. My little snuggle bug. Mm. Yeah, what a good handsome baby. Oh. Mm-hmm. So pretty. Oh, gummy. Oh, what a good baby. No, I'm not streaming now. You're just insane. Wow. I have a really handsome gum here. I ate the vegan Reese's cups and had a food coma. Hentai bukkake. Oh, gum. Love my gum. Mm-hmm. Some of these stories are fucking weird, dude. Well, apparently, some Mexican cartel member got killed.
Great, you're here now. Let's react to this.
Let me see.
There's a growing narrative that the UK has been invaded by radical Muslims and taken over.
Yes, it has. Oh my god, dude. Isn't Piers Morgan like a literal cuck? His wife fucks other dudes, right? And I know she treats him like absolute fucking shit. This guy's a fucking terrorist, by the way. Like, this is just fucking ridiculous. There's literally Hamas supporters, like this fucking terrorist freak, who come on to his, like, talk show thing here. And then they try to argue that they're not, like, fucking some kind of retarded, dumbass, Muslim radical idiot, while defending terrorism and talking about how they want to destroy Israel. Like, fuck right off, man.
Behind it all, has the UK really lost its culture to radical Islam? Here to debate this.
Like, the way I would describe it is the UK lost its culture to communism, and this communist fucking brain rot infested society. And as a consequence, you have, like, this crazy retard migration.
Reform UK's candidate for London Mayor, Leila Cunningham, rapper and activist Loki, Andrew Gold, host of the Heretics podcast, Black Studies professor.
Is this guy gonna be a cuck?
Professor and author of Nobody Can Give You Freedom, Kehinde Andrews, and Cenk Uygur, the founder and host of The Young Turks, an outspoken critic of online Muslim bashing. Okay, let's start with Leila Cunningham, who is a candidate to be Mayor of London. Welcome to Uncensored. We've not had you on before.
Yeah, we had a big snowstorm here. Hopefully it's the last fucking one. It's almost March, so... Fucking hell. I want winter to be over.
This narrative, which a lot of American An American guests of mine, friends of mine, people I know, people I respect. There's a growing narrative that the UK is being invaded by radical Muslims and taken over, and that people like me.
Hegseth pushing obvious fake weights, huh?
So this should be 315. Pete Hegseth is the drunk, right? Yeah. Doesn't he have a weird, like, tattoo that's... What was it? It had something to do with, like, Christians need to murder or some crap. Like, this does not look like a guy who can bench 315. Like, he looks a little too small. Yeah. That looks like a little fishy. Like, if these are fake weights, he's good at faking it. Because the way the bar moved and everything, and how the velocity changed and shit, none of that gives it away. It's just that he doesn't look like he lifts. And 315's a pretty respectable amount of weight. So, yeah, for a guy who looks like this to bench 315, it's just a little weird. It's 100% AI. Spotter's leg goes through the seat. I don't know where he... Where is he, like... I don't know where he's seeing that. I cannot believe I share the freeway with people like you. Yeah, no shit. Okay, this guy's literally a fucking idiot. It could be real. It's just he doesn't look like he's in the shape of somebody I'd expect to bench 3 wheels. Could be real though. I can't show that on stream. Soldier of Honor shows how he survived attack by the CJNG after clashes over capture of El Mencho. Got shot in the face. Oh my god. Is that a fucking shell stuck into his face? Yeah. Or is that just like the skin that's folded weird? That looks like a shell in his face somehow. Alright, well thanks for the donation, retard.
Oh look, a woman is running for London mayor. This should be good, not.
It's never good. Never ever good. Thanks for the donation, Dodo. Hegseth could not do a legit pull-up, by the way. Alright, that is a bit fishy. Like, he doesn't weigh that much. Like, there are sometimes big discrepancies with how strong somebody is with, like, pull-ups versus benching. Like Hafthor can barely do a pull-up, but he can deadlift like fucking 1 billion pounds. So I don't know. If it is fake, he's good at faking it. That's what I'm... That's all I can really say for right now.
We can barely leave our front door because of this radical invasion, which I think is a ridiculous overreach of what the real situation is. But what do you feel it is?
So I think it depends.
Yeah, it's an overreach. There's literally Sharia courts in the fucking UK. Like, how in the fuck do you come to the conclusion, oh, like, you know, immigration isn't, like, overblown. It's not that big of a deal. There's fucking Sharia courts in the fucking UK, dude. Like, the fuck?
Depends which part of the country you're in, which part of London you're in. And I think
like, by the way, the CIA has publicly stated this. The UK is one of the worst countries for Islamic terrorism. I think that's compared to, like, all the rest of fucking Europe. Like, it's a big fucking hotbed for funding Islamic terrorism throughout the world. The CIA and MI6 do coordinated efforts to actually find out how these people are actually helping to fund fucking terrorism. A lot of them fund terrorism through drug trafficking. A lot of the crystal meth, fentanyl, heroin trade in the UK and throughout Europe actually helps fund terrorists in, like, Afghanistan, Syria, Pakistan, you name it. So, like, what the fuck are they talking about?
The real question people are asking themselves is who right now sets the cultural norms in certain parts of the country, and who adapts to whom? Should it be the host nation that adapts to those that arrive, or should it be the new arrivals that adapt? And people feel that as a host nation, we haven't asked new arrivals to adapt. We haven't asked them to assimilate or integrate. And mass immigration has caused rapid demographic change, and that has created certain people, you know, British people, to feel that their way of life has changed in where they live. And, you know, some people say it's racist to notice this, and others say it's authoritarian to forbid discussion about this. But, you know, I say that it's not racist to want to preserve your way of life. It's not racist to want to preserve your values. It's patriotism. You know, you're like, hang on, there's so many people here. My town looks completely...
Again, these people come into the fucking country and then start complaining about how people have dogs as pets. Gay people are allowed to live. They start whining and crying about how there aren't any fucking Sharia courts and there's only civil courts where women have equal rights. Like, and then, like, there's this discussion, it's racist to judge other cultures. Like this is what communism fucking has done to the UK, and to a lot of Europe. It's communist, retarded fucking brain rot.
Completely different. The shops are in a different language, and it's just not. It's not the town I grew up in, and I want it to stop. I don't like it. I don't think there's anything wrong with pointing that out.
Loki, welcome back to Uncensored. So Jim Ratcliffe, billionaire owner of Manchester United, notwithstanding the fact that I think he's a bit of a hypocrite because he himself is an immigrant to Monaco, where he resides as for tax reasons, and also has a team in Manchester United where the majority of their...
Buddy... Monaco, are we fucking... Like, by the way, how is any of this, like, hypocrisy? The idea that there's too much immigration in the fucking UK, particularly with Muslims, is not... It doesn't make you a hypocrite for, like, living in fucking Monaco. What the fuck is he talking about? Like if I were to... Like, I don't even have to spell it out. Like, it's, oh my god, the coping, dude. Like, Piers Morgan is just an absolute fucking beta male cuck.
Their starting 11 are economic migrants to the UK. So there's hypocrisy there. And I didn't like his comments about Britain being...
Economic migrants to the UK? You mean people who want to fucking, just live off the fucking welfare system, you fucking idiot? Like, what...
colonized by immigrants.
White
I thought
guilt.
crass and inflammatory. But there were some points he was making, notwithstanding again that he got some of his facts wrong. But there has been a very large increase in the UK population from the turn of the century to now. Nearly 20 million more people. That has had an inevitable impact on
Yeah, like the Muslim rape gangs that fuck kids.
huge pressure to our infrastructure and public services. That is unquestionable. And there's been obviously a massive influx of immigrants to the UK in that time as well. So it's understandable that some people are putting all this together and blaming the influx of millions of migrants to the UK. What is your pushback to the people that make that argument?
There are 3 points to take into account here, Piers. Number one, people have been disaffected by deindustrialization, by the privatization of key state assets and state functions. They know that their services have essentially been siphoned off to private interests, but they are disaffected by that and then misdirected into diagnosing what exactly the problem is. And
dude, you can look at the fucking demographic changes in the UK and the rate of immigration. Are you fucking retarded? What the fuck does, some of the factory jobs leaving the UK have to do with seeing a bunch of fucking brown people in your fucking neighborhood? Absolutely fucking nothing. Are you saying, oh, I lost my factory job? Is everyone hallucinating fucking Muslims around themselves? What does losing your fucking job have to do with hallucinating Muslims? They're there.
Keep in mind no one has an issue with judging something as horrible as bullfighting and saying it should be banned for animal cruelty despite it being a part of Spanish culture, so why is judging this an issue?
Well, again, it's just communist retarded brain rot. This whole push of accepting Muslims is a Chinese psyop. Thanks for the donation, though, Dodo. Dodo donated $2. Reports allege Iran could order global proxy attacks if the U.S. strikes. There are likely Iranian terrorists living in the U.S. So, we'll see. This is an invasion. Muslim who raped a 13-year-old girl in the UK was allowed to walk free because he didn't know rape was illegal. Yeah, I heard of that one. By the way, this is complete nonsense. Being unaware of the law does not excuse you from a crime. That's not a legal defense. So this beta male white cuck judge literally ignored the fucking law and just let a Muslim rapist loose. That's all there is to it. So, yeah. Being ignorant of the law is not a legal defense. So, it's just retarded.
This is everything I prepared for the hot pot with my family this Chinese New Year.
It is true. The way they worded it is misleading. It was statutory rape. So apparently the girl did willingly have sex with this dude. She wasn't forced to have sex, but it was a statutory rape. So this was an adult man having sex with a 13-year-old girl. So it's statutory rape. And again, his defense was, I didn't know it was illegal to have sex with an underage girl.
New Year,
which shouldn't be, that's not a legal defense, but they let him out anyway.
prep took just 30 minutes. I was going to make 2
It's a blue raspberry Bing.
bases, mala soup, and a vegan sukiyaki broth. I first chopped up an assortment of mushrooms like enoki, king oyster, shiitake, and brown shimeji mushrooms. They really spice up your broth with the umami flavor. For the sukiyaki broth, I chopped up some cabbage and sliced extra from tofu, not forgetting your green vegetables like bok choy, sharp spinach, and the hot pot essentials, tofu puffs, and frozen dumplings. Then comes preparing the soup base. Honestly, if you don't have time, you can just buy store-bought bases, and then you just add in the water. I added garlic, hot bean paste, 2 cubes of veggie stock, soy sauce, mala paste, and water. For the sukiyaki broth, I'm adding soy sauce, sake, mirin, sugar, mushroom powder, and the white part of scallions. Then I'm layering the cabbage and tofu so they can slow cook in the broth.
Yeah, I think I want this.
Added some mushrooms and glass noodles to the mala soup so they can absorb the essence from the shrooms on low heat. I honestly love the cooking part because you can absolutely add anything you like. I added some noodles, veggies, and had some rice at the side as well. You can also make a dipping sauce that I've not filmed here, but I have the full recipe for that on my blog. This is one way I love spending time with my friends and family, so try this at home with your loved ones. Enjoy and follow for more.
I've been looking for tofu skins and haven't seen any in any of the stores. Islamic regime, Basij Militias, just stormed the Sheriff University of Technology in Tehran. Battles on campus, anti-regime student protesters, and Islamic militia. The Iran situation's absolutely fucked, man. Really fucking glad I don't live there. 25 years after 3,000 Americans were massacred on 9/11, Muslims closed New York City streets, openly declaring we're taking over.
Yo, make some noise for the mother water right now, baby. MashaAllah, yeah. Takbir! Oh, don't scare them, brothers. Relax. They're over here on purpose to be like, oh my God. Who's seen those videos where they're like, oh my God, the Muslims are taking over New York City? You seen those? You seen those? Let them know that we are taking over New York City. Takbir!
Oh, bro. Like, if racism is good for anything, it's to prevent shit like this. Like, I would take fucking, people calling me the fucking N-word on the street over this shit any fucking day. Thanks for the donation, though, Dodo. It's just fucking insane.
You ever had any severe lower back sciatica? And if so, how did you get rid of it?
Well, sciatica usually runs down the side of your leg. I've had sciatica run down the left side of my leg after I hurt my back. It just goes away on its own. So if you have some kind of pinched nerve, you just have to wait for like some of the inflammation and swelling to go down. And then it just goes away on its own. I think in my case, it went away after just a few days. And it was like totally gone after about a week. There's situations where it might be extremely prolonged where you need surgery, but that's if you have like a really major back injury where you have like a split disc. And some of the fluid and weird crap from the split disc is pressing against the nerve, and the only way to get rid of that pressure on the nerve is surgery. That's rare. But 9 times out of 10, probably more than 9 times out of 10, it just goes away on its own. Thanks for the donation, though, Vegan Vega.
Not sure if you've answered this before, but are steroids vegan? Also, could you drop me on my fucking head? LLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLLL 777 sextillion 777 quintillion 777 quadrillion 777 trillion 777 billion 777 million 777,777.
Yes. Steroids are vegan. Thanks, and I could drop you on your head. Thanks for the donation, Ben Boy.
First New York, then the world.
Hopefully not. Thanks for the donation, Dodo. Dodo donated $2. Let me see. Leader of the Islamic regime in Iran, Ayatollah, is reportedly designated as senior advisor Ali Larijani to handle key state affairs in the event of his death. Well, they know it's coming. Can we take away this harebrained woman's cat? Looks a lot like Gummy.
To the deed of what was both. Tell me, what are the odds that the notary to the deed of what was both Epstein and Howard Lutnick's property at 11 East 71st Street, because yes, Epstein owned that property before Lutnick owned that property. It was transferred to Epstein for just $10 in 1992. Epstein passed the deed to a Comet Trust in 1996, again for just $10, of which a Guido Goldman was a trustee. The son
Guido Goldman? What a name.
of one of the founders of the World Jewish Congress. And then it was passed to Lutnick in 1996 for, again, just $10. Who notarized the deed transferring this property from Jeffrey Epstein to the Comet Trust in 1996? A Gary Pollard. A Gary Pollard just so happened to be in the perfect spot at the perfect time to record the perfect shot of the South Tower collapsing.
Oh my god.
On September 11th, 2001. Is it just...
He lives in fucking New York, you fucking idiot. Like, okay, this woman's a dumb bitch. Let's see. U.S. Senator Lindsey Graham told Axios on Saturday that several people around President Donald Trump are advising him not to bomb Iran. Graham urged the president to ignore them. Yeah, it's probably somebody fucking stupid like Tulsi Gabbard. So, yeah, bomb the fuck out of Iran. Wipe that place off the fucking map. And let's see. This is 5 hours ago. This is the same beach where those Muslims shot everybody up, and then everybody started coping. Not all Muslims. We love our Muslims. It's only two crazies that did this. Yeah.
Me as you walk away with a Holocaust victim.
Okay. Thanks for the donation, Dodo.
Look at it this way, on the bright side, if they do take over, at least these dumb women won't be in power anymore.
Yeah, I mean, eventually. Well, like, they all vote Democrat, right? And that's also another motivation for this, like, stupid immigration thing. So, they're one of the reasons why you see more women in power and more, like, gay retarded dudes and Democrat fucking beta male communist cucks. Like, they're all gonna vote for the fucking people who allow for mass immigration and, like, apologize for jihad and shit, right? So, but, yeah, eventually... yeah, they'll all be wearing burqas and get raped or have acid thrown in their fucking face, and then, I'm sure they'll still be coping saying, not all Muslims do this, it's okay, there's no problem with Muslim immigration, like, it's just a natural course of things, like, cultures just change over time. Now we just have, like, Islamic jihad and, Sharia. Dodo donated $2. This is precisely why we can't have women leaders. Let me see. I really want a good soup right now. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez said on Instagram that she opposes war with Iran after earlier posting same on X. She said the Iranian government had carried out brutal persecution of protesters, describing it as horrifying while arguing there are ways to support demonstrators short of mass bombing campaign. Uh... No? They murdered tens of thousands of protesters. How the fuck did, like, what? Ocasio-Cortez also said no president has the authority to authorize war without congressional approval. Well, this isn't a war. Bombing somebody does not constitute a war. Like, I mean, a good example of this would have been, Barack Obama capturing Osama bin Laden, or killing him, I should say. Like, it just so happened the way that operation was conducted, they just, broke into his compound, shot and killed him and a few other people. If they had 100% like knowledge, they fucking knew Osama bin Laden was there, they would have very likely just shot a bomb and blew him up or something. Like, would that be an act of war against Pakistan? Like, you can actually have military action against, terrorists somewhere and it not be a war. Like, these people are just fucking brain rotted. Over 3,000 people were killed during mass public unrest last month, more than that, following protests over depreciation of the Iranian rial and a call to insurrection. Blah, blah, blah. So, yeah, she's fucking
From
idiot.
the very earliest days of this massacre, we have made clear our stance in support of the Iranian people and the protesters who are being brutally persecuted and victimized by this regime. The shocking levels of violence are beyond what is acceptable in any society. That being said, the way that this conversation is being flattened as though the only option here is a full all-out war should be very concerning.
Who is claiming, like, what does she mean by full-out war?
The United States is one of the most powerful governments in the entire world and has a massive amount of tools.
So, like, by the way, they claimed the operation in Venezuela was an act of war. Well, what's happened? Nothing. There are a few bombs dropped, a few people were killed, and we got, Maduro. And these same fucktards say, oh, you can't have war without congressional approval. Like, I don't know what the fuck they even consider a war anymore. Apparently, giving somebody a boo-boo is an act of war at this point. And I'd love to hear what her fucking explanation is of how they could support, like, the protesters and effectuate a regime change without using any military action. Name it. What? What are they supposed to do?
Tools available to it. Everything from infrastructure systems, reestablishing internet access.
Okay, okay. She needs to be investigated.
Moreover,
She needs to be investigated. This is Code Pink bullshit. I'm wondering if she is either accepting money from that fucking billionaire who's, like, running Code Pink, or like, I'd love to see her internet search history. Like, I don't know, like, she's fucking what, 25 or some shit? Like, she's a young woman. It wouldn't surprise me if she's like this brain-rotted fucking TikTok fucking idiot looking up horse shit. Like, that is just baffling nonsense. Like the US can reestablish internet and infrastructure changes. What the fuck does she mean by that? How in the fuck would that actually help a regime change? Sailing with fishing communities today who face constant threat of US and Caribbean waters. Please have Trump blow the fuck out of them. Fucking cunts. Dude. If I ever got, like, any serious fucking money, like, we're talking, like, win the Powerball, you know, like $1 billion lottery, I would make sure these people's, like, boats sink if they ever do shit like this. Yeah, they're not even wearing, life jackets. I'd make sure they fucking sunk.
Get ready for India's fluffiest breakfast.
Oh, what a thought.
Crispy dosa that are...
You'll watch that in a minute. Thanks for the donation, Dodo.
Will these people always say that right-wingers just can't accept change? I would love to see them try to adjust to the change of Islam taking over and no longer living in a free society anymore.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd love to see that. Thanks for the donation, Dodo. I'm really craving soup. I'd really like some good soup. I also kind of want a lot of tofu and Chinese food. That'd be nice too. But I might go get soup.
served to more than 3,000 people a day.
The crunch is surreal.
And one of the country's most unusual dishes.
This is really heavy.
6:30 a.m. to kick the day into gear.
Ayar Idli was first started off in 2001 by my father. We started off as a batter shop. We used to sell idli and dosa batter. And over a period of time, we developed and we started selling idlis. The origin of idli dates back to several centuries before. It's easy to make. It's like...
How does this guy find Indian shops that don't make food with their feet?
Right on your stomach, it's very stomach friendly. You can never go wrong with an idli.
Now he and his team are showing me how this historic staple quite literally comes to life. It all starts with two humble ingredients. First, here the power of evaporation cooks them into clouds of perfection. But of course, idli are only one part of the breakfast equation. Time for the next one, the coconut chutney. First, hand-picked fiery chilies are also destined for the grinder, where they're mixed with split chickpeas and water to turn them into a coarse paste. Next up, you guessed it, are fresh coconuts. After cracking them open, their fate is sealed with what could be
I'd probably cut my finger open if I did that.
described as the most dangerous kitchen tool I've ever seen, though its efficiency cannot.
Yeah, that does look dangerous.
Did you react to Alex Kopupu's new position on veganism? If so, give me a rundown of your take on it.
No, haven't done that yet. Yeah, I was gonna watch that stupid fucking video he put out. Dude,
In the US,
wait, where's the fucking thing?
This is one of
those facts.
There's something genuinely wrong with this fucktard. Imagine walking outside the house with this, like, bitch fucking rat fuck mustache. Who the fuck walks outside looking like this? Like, you have to be a stupid, deranged fucking cunt. And again, this is the guy, I pooped my pants, I couldn't go fucking vegan. Like, yeah. I hate this guy. Genuinely fucking hate him. If this guy got chased down by a bunch of Muslims in the UK and they like stabbed him or some shit, I'd wait for them to finish stabbing him before I did anything. Like, I wouldn't want to intervene before they're fucking done cutting his head off or anything and shouting Allahu Akbar. I'd wait for them to finish then I'd take care of them.
Not be denied.
Thanks for that
Add the
donation,
grated
Vegan
coconut
Dragon.
and some fresh coriander leaves, then let the machine run its steady course until it has turned the handful of ingredients into a light and aerated chutney. Now mix in some toasted lentils, crispy curry leaves and water for the finishing touch. Then it's finally time to bring it all together. If you
Bangalore, it's the most wonderful roasted lentil flavor.
back home now in the UK/Hermann, or by just dosa. But when you think of dosa, this might not be the one you had in mind. Thicker and more golden than its famed cousin, this is the secret favorite that locals swear by for both breakfast and lunch. Here at Vidyarthi Bhavan, 3,000 of them are knocked out every single day. A proof of the cult status the restaurant holds with the city's loyal crowd.
It started in 1943 as a student's canteen to cater to the needs of their breakfast. So this was a meeting place for a lot of people. What we call here in the local language called as adda, to hang around with friends. So this place has become an adda for a lot of people. They have a lot of fond memories.
The dosa is ready to
Soft masala underneath and the pieces of potato in there, they're not completely smooth. And then I'm gonna dip that into that chutney here. This is so exciting. Here we go. The crunch.
I mean, that looks good.
more spicy.
I'm gonna that samba.
That
You
looks
lose a little bit of that.
Physically demanding day in a quick visit butts into overdrive. Ingredients and a whole lot.
Little piece, we scrunch it up.
that
And I'm
looks
just gonna
really
scrunch
weird.
up that. The way to end this meal is the Utah.
Some of that looks weird.
And on top of that, there is the 20 years of war on terror, which in terms of the essentially billionaire tax haven Epstein class has necessitated propaganda against Muslims on an industrial scale. And unfortunately, one of the key...
What in the fuck is this idiot talking about? You know what started the war on terror? Fucking 9/11, you fucktard. Al-Qaeda successfully committed 9/11, killed thousands of fucking Americans. Luckily, because of the CIA, they were able to prevent a number of other Al-Qaeda terrorist attacks within the U.S. But Al-Qaeda was a fairly large organization, and it turned out the U.S. Overestimated just how large and powerful Al-Qaeda was. But they were operating throughout Europe, the UK. They were all over the Middle East, too. They were in India, Pakistan, Afghanistan. Yeah, they were successfully launching terror operations within the U.S. as well. Like, most notably 9/11. And then this guy's like, the war on terror was so bad. Well, what the fuck idea would you have after 9/11 happened, you fucking asshole? You fucking dumb fuck rat prick? Oh, 9/11 wasn't that big of a deal, 'cause the US is infidels and they kind of deserved it. But yeah, people hate Muslims for no reason. Like, this guy's a fucking idiot.
Individuals in that has been Rupert Murdoch, who himself, according to reports, despite generating billions from the UK, went 11 years without paying corporate tax. But you have to also look further at Christopher Harborne, the key founder.
What the fuck does this have to do with fucking anything? So, Rupert Murdoch doesn't pay taxes, therefore Muslims good, and they don't do anything bad. Okay. So, Rupert Murdoch avoided paying taxes, so I guess the Muslim rape gang thing is just fine.
Funder of Reform UK, somebody with multiple business interests in the Cayman Islands, in the tax havens of the Channel Islands, and others. And what about Jeremy Hosking, another individual that...
What does this have to do with anything? Rich billionaires don't pay taxes, therefore, Muslim immigration is good.
Funds Reform UK, who has
the
business interests, Marathon Asset Management, along with Harborne, is of course based in Jersey, which is a tax haven. When you look at who profits from the railways in this country, they are largely companies based in...
Yeah, buddy, do any of the fucking Muslim drug traffickers who use their drug dealing to fund Islamic terrorism, do any of them pay taxes, fuckwit? Oh, okay.
Either other countries or tax havens. So people have been disenfranchised and disaffection is real. However, they have been encouraged by individuals like Murdoch and others to divert all of that energy onto the shoulders of the most vulnerable. Only 0.18% of this country are refugees. If they do have recourse to public funds, which over 1 million people don't, it's £37.50 per week. Who is a bigger burden on the people of this country? Is it a person sitting next to you in the doctor's surgery whose name you can't pronounce?
Yeah, I would say it's the people raping your kids and blowing up fucking buildings you may or may not be in. And, I don't know, creating no-go zones and making sure there's Sharia courts that are popping up. I think that those people are a bigger problem than the rich billionaires that actually generate fucking tax revenue for the country and create jobs. I think that, yeah. Fucking idiot. Dodo donate $2. Did you become in the mood for soup because of the brown vegan girl video I sent you? I don't know. I think I was craving something like that before then. I didn't know Turks were in the Korean War. Let me see. Ugh. Yeah, I wasn't aware of that either. All right. Thanks for the donation, Dodo. Oh, it's fucking cold. My hand is actually starting to freeze because it's so cold down here. It's fucking annoying. Dude, I can't wait till summer. I think if it ever gets cold again, I'm literally going to set off nuclear bombs strategically to, like, melt the polar ice caps and, some science stuff with, the Coriolis effect and, wind so that it's always warm. I can't handle winter again. This was bad, and I never ever want it to happen again. Dodo donate $2. Read the comments. People don't understand. This is someone doing an impression. People are so fucking dumb.
John in Virginia, Republican. Let's hear from you.
Well, this is John Barron, and you have, this is the worst decision you've
Yeah, that's Trump.
ever have in your life, practically. Jack's going to agree with me, right? But this is a terrible decision. And you have Hakeem Jeffries, he's a dope, and you have Chuck Schumer, who can't cook a cheeseburger. Of course these people are happy. But true Americans will not be happy. And you have the woman earlier, I assume she's a woman, she's a Democrat, but she said she's disgraced. She's devastated.
All right,
by
John.
this.
We'll go to Chester, who's in Baton Rouge, Louisiana.
Are these people real? They can't. I don't know, dude. I kind of don't even bother fucking around with comments on the internet anymore because AI and bots have just absolutely, like, the dead internet theory is becoming real. I don't even waste my time. Like, it was already enough of a waste of time to begin with, but now you might not even be seeing real people talking. Like, I don't know. Thanks for the donation, though, Dodo. 21st $20. While you're freezing in Canada, Ryan and Angie are having a good time in warm California.
Checking out the tacos dorados de papa.
Yeah, I mean, as long as you can avoid the forest fires, the weather in Cali is pretty nice. Unfortunately, California is also a liberal, retarded fuckhole. Overtaxed, overregulated. They let criminals do whatever the fuck they want. It's basically like what Canada would be if it was warm. So yeah, it's literally warm Canada, which I guess is better than Canada, but still. Knowing you could go to like literally the next state over and things make more sense kind of ruins the weather a little bit. Yeah, Florida. Florida would be an option. The only big problem with Florida is the hurricanes, and especially now with climate change, they're gonna have some more extreme weather, and they also have the sinkhole issue. I'd be worried about buying property in Florida because of the sinkhole problem. And as far as I know, you can't get any insurance for the sinkhole thing. But yeah, the weather's really nice. I am fully 100% committed to getting soup today. It's gonna happen. I am going to get soup. 21st, $22. No, they have Disney World in California. I think you mean Disneyland. Ryan and Angie must live nearby to it. They often go and get lots of vegan treats. They're clearly enjoying their lives and being happy together. Ryan gets pussy regularly. You're a loser. I won't lie. Angie does have a nice round bum bum. Like, I've seen her in lingerie. She's actually, at least, you know, a few years ago from what I've seen. She has a nice big round butt. Ryan's a fucking weirdo, though. I don't know what the big deal, like, the way the beef started between us was absolutely fucking bizarre. He agreed to do that debate on whether or not vegans should call animal agriculture a holocaust, and then he took it, like, way too fucking personally and shit, and then there was the vegan cat thing where he was being kind of a fucking pussy when it came to the vegan cat shit. As far as I know, he feeds his cats vegan, apparently. He just doesn't like talking about it because he's a whiny beta male who cares about people judging him, so he just keeps it to himself. I don't know why the fuck you care about what other people think. Like, people are worthless pieces of shit. Like, I give a fuck what anybody thinks. Like me feeding my cat vegan. Like, they suck ass. So, yeah, it's some weird shit. But, thanks for the donation, 21st.
I was right all along. Dark Sniver does hate being white, as he says at the 130 mark.
Yeah. The only thing I would dislike about being white is, like, skin cancer and the sun. Like, it's easier to get a sunburn and shit. That'd probably be the thing that would annoy me the most. Other than that, like, why the fuck would you care?
I don't know how this feels.
Like, honestly, it's also just strategically advantageous, just given the political climate, to be some kind of minority. Like, I wouldn't be able to get away with half the shit I say if I was just white. So, like, that's also a plus, but this guy's just a fucking white guilt beta male faggot.
Video's gonna turn out. I tried to do multiple posts about it, and I just couldn't finish it because I thought, why not just do a fucking video about it? I could get my thoughts across much better. So, here's the video.
Okay.
I never really started.
That's about as much as I can handle for that. Kind of hate his face.
Yeah, I think that should be good.
Yeah. Like, look at his face. His face.
What's wrong with your
This is a filter.
skin?
Yeah, like.
Yeah, that's a filter. I don't know. He might be on crystal meth.
Dude, like, what's wrong with your skin? You look terrible. And you'll notice the same thing happening with Clavicular. He got so popular that to want to help him. These people know.
6 new Frank shorts.
All right, let's take a look. Oh, shit. Is there a full new video? Oh, 11 days ago now. These are all going to be very stupid.
Someone left a...
He fucking included me in one of his lawsuits. Where was it? Somebody sent me an email about that shit. Yeah, here we go. February 17th, 2026. Summons issued as to Richard Burgess and provided to pro se plaintiff. U.S. mail service on defendants in the manner prescribed by Rule 4, civil procedure. Notice to attorneys receiving summons electronically must provide summons like... I have no fucking idea. And apparently, this is a $405 filing fee. Complaint against Richard Burgess. So, I'm expecting to never hear anything about this because he has a history of never paying for the filing fees. But, if this guy is... Like, he's been doing this, adding people to these lawsuits. Like, that is crazy. $405 for the filing fee. So I've seen some of the, like, court documents where he'll add, like, 10 people. And it kind of makes sense that he's not paying for the filing fees because when he's just arbitrarily adding like 10 people to some of these lawsuits he's got going on, you can see how that would add up over time. But I literally have no fucking idea what... So this guy is watching my streams. And I had a feeling he's been watching my streams for a long time. So he's upset that I've been making fun of him on stream and pointing out how he's been going fucking crazy and being stupid. And this is what this is. So, yeah.
All of this to comment on my YouTube channel saying that Paul Saladino paid Dr. Taban to botch me. And believe it or not, this is something I thought about for a long time before getting my eye surgery. And it
Oh my god. He's gone crazy.
was the main deterrent. I knew these secret society people didn't like me. I knew that all these doctors are in that club. So I was genuinely scared that they would botch me on purpose. Now, did they? Very good question. The only reason I think it's a possibility is because of the amount of tissue the doctor removed from my medial wall. It was absolutely insane. Absolutely crazy. I find it very difficult to believe
that any doctor that has ever performed an orbital decompression would intentionally remove that much tissue from someone's medial wall. It's either intentional, it's either an intentional.
This guy's like actually losing his mind. Paul Saladino paid Dr. Taban to botch his surgery.
Botch, or he's the most grossly incompetent doctor ever. So it's kind of hard because this guy, Taban, who supposedly had the best reputation, either botched me on purpose or did a horrendous job that like a medical school student would know better. It just doesn't make any sense to me. Did they botch me on purpose? It's not out of the realm of possibility. Other things in favor of that are me not getting compensated, him getting away with it completely, you know, all the Google reviews being removed, anything negative about this doctor being wiped completely off online. So, you know, that's another scary thing. Hey, these doctors can botch you on purpose. Maybe if you're a different religion or you're from a different group of people or you're not in the club, who knows? Maybe the doctor just didn't like you. If they know they can get away with this evil stuff and they can botch you on purpose, like, what's stopping them? And there are, not saying this doctor specifically, although he has botched a lot of people, there have been doctors that were just evil people and harmed their patients on purpose. You know, it's not something that hasn't happened. And those are the only ones we've heard about, you know. How many dozens, if not hundreds or thousands of doctors are sadistic or evil and doing satanic rituals? I mean, that's kind of into conspiracy theories and crazy stuff, but there's a lot of really insane things that go on in this world, and what this guy did to my eyes is a testament and proof for how evil some people can be.
Yeah, Frank's crazy.
Honestly, though, Frank, if you've spoken to other people that have been botched by him, they all say the same thing. He took so much tissue and botched it so badly that many people say they think he did it on purpose. I think he's a sociopath. Yeah, if I had to bet, I would lean towards he did it on purpose.
He made the same video and uploaded it twice.
For sure. And it doesn't make sense that a doctor that's performed hundreds, if not thousands, of this specific procedure doesn't know what happens when he removes that amount.
I would have streamed earlier, but I ate vegan Reese's Cups and I went into a complete food coma and I couldn't get up. That's why I was streaming so late.
Of tissue. He absolutely does. So in front of the court at trial, there's only two possible answers. He did it on purpose, or he is so grossly incompetent that he caused almost irreparable damage to me. There's no good way it really looks for him. And above that, even performing a medial decompression on someone is very sketchy, because when I spoke to Dr. Raymond Douglas, he doesn't even do medial decompressions on people without thyroid eye disease, only lateral, so makes you wonder. So meager insurance agency still hasn't paid for my roof. What they have paid for, ironically, is a lawyer to retain against me in my lawsuit. So go figure. I still have a ton of water coming into my house, so it's the
He's trying to scam insurance companies. They're like, this is just nonsense.
First non-icy day in northeastern PA. Still raining, but I had to get some more tarps on this roof to prevent any further damage.
The Reese's Cups were good, but they were underwhelming. The Clio vegan peanut butter cups are better. I don't know how they fucked it up, but basically, the chocolate on the vegan Reese's Cups are great. They're actually better than on the normal Reese's Cups. But the fucking peanut butter filling is not like the Reese's peanut butter filling. It's totally different. The texture is different. The like sweetness and taste and everything is totally different. It's not very peanut buttery at all. So they kind of fucked up the filling, which is bizarre because I'm pretty sure that part of it is actually vegan. And they have the Reese's Pieces and the Reese's Chiplets that are vegan now. They don't contain any fucking milk. And that has the Reese's peanut butter in it. But when they made the plant-based Reese's, they like fucked it up. It's bizarre. So the Cleo's vegan peanut butter cups are actually closer to Reese's peanut butter cups than the plant-based Reese's peanut butter cups. It's fucking retarded.
As all the ceilings in the house already need to be replaced. Water leaked through the roof into all the ceilings, all the drywall's out. I mean, this went from like a $40,000 claim. Now it's probably $60,000, $70,000, and it's just getting worse and worse. I'm just trying to prevent any mold or even crazier issues. But I don't know. It's looking like we're going to have to get the local court to force Meager Insurance Agency to pay me. I mean, they have a perfect 5-star rating on Google, so it seems like they just steal people's money and then pay off Google to keep their reviews perfect without actually being a legitimate insurance company. So Meager Insurance. So this is the Google.
Well, most people don't try to commit insurance frauds that they can get out of debt.
Review page for Meager Insurance Agency. Sorry about my hair and camera. I got weird lighting over here. But you will not be able to see my 1-star review. I can see it, but it's going to be shadow banned and censored for anyone. And I would argue that 5-star rating for insurance companies is worse than a 1 or 2-star rating. All insurance companies are scammers. All of them are horrific. All of them should have horrendous Google ratings. What scares me is that
insurance companies that have been around for long enough, they're going to have bad reviews. I don't know how long that company's been around for, but that's weird that they'd have all 5-star ratings. There's obviously going to be somebody leaving a bad review. Hey, Gum.
Anti-LGBTQ bots is like 80% of the comment section, if that is the topic. Usually if the comment section is in a smaller language, you'll see far less bots though. Iran posts is even worse. Hail Supreme Leader comments is over 90%.
Yeah. I don't even bother engaging in, like, arguing with people in the comment section anymore. It was a waste of time as it was, but now, like, you're very likely arguing with a bot, so it's just pointless. Thanks for that donation, though, Vegan Dragon.
What is it with all these self-hating whites as well as hatred of whites in society, VG?
It's all a communist psyop, dude. It's all coming out of fucking China and Russia. That's all it is. Just communist brain rot. Thanks for the donation, Dodo. Dodo, donate $2 if you were invited to a vegan Shabbat Seder by someone in Ottawa, would you attend? What's a Shabbat Seder or Seder? I don't know what that is. I guess if it's vegan and there's good food, sure. Thanks for the donation, Dodo.
What's the most you've came in one single day? Volume and frequency.
Well, I've never measured my ejaculate volume. But my record for number of times masturbated in a single day is probably like around a dozen. Like around a dozen times. Thanks for the donation though, James. Dodo donate $2 can we rewatch. The rapist Tyson donated.
Hollywood firefighter, 5 years. You like it? Love it.
This is why you should never insult someone who saves you.
Boy who saved his little. There's a new video going viral and
It's donated $2. Let me see.
That wasting time watching this brain rot fucking horseshit. Why'd you do that, buddy? This is good, right? This is what you want to see? Stupid music playing over some gay fucking retarded news thing about a kid getting bitten by a fucking dog. That's what you all come here for, right? Oh, how about a 12-year-old fucking video from the Young Turks? Let's watch this without.
Well, in 2018.
And see me freak out because it's so fucking stupid. Like what? Just tell me. Why the fuck did you send me that?
Yes, thanks for the donation, dude.
Meager Insurance are such good expert scammers. They are so good at ripping people off that they've made plenty of money to pay off Google.
Yeah, I saw the new CEO of Xbox as a woman. Yeah, that's gonna go great.
I would be scared to death of any company with a perfect 5-star rating because you know for sure they've screwed over.
Like, by the way, when you see that, you know, the new CEO of Xbox is a woman. Well, guess what's happening to their whole corporate structure? Fable, ugly character thing. Like, everybody's fucking talked about this. Like, that is literally what's been going on here. This is the fucking main character they showed off for the new Fable game. This is deliberate. Like, this isn't just somebody with unique tastes making, like, a weird female character. This is deliberate, like, feminist horse crap where girl characters need to be ugly and unsexy and unappealing. They could have made her look like this or something. Like, I mean, when you look at Japanese, or Chinese game developers, yeah, they'll make it like this is what the female characters look like. You know, they look like 2B or that chick from Stellar Blade, like, you know, nice tits and ass, really pretty face, cute, you know, young look to them. And then you have a woman at the head of Xbox, and they deliberately make the female characters ugly. Like, it's just what they do. So, yeah, when you see a woman ending up, you know, becoming the head of, you know, fucking Microsoft Xbox division, and you see crap like that, you know exactly what's going on.
Over at least several thousand people really badly, and they've made a ton of money, and that evil old man in that photo is probably the reason behind a lot of it. Go figure. Fucking degenerates, dude. So this is the Google review. So not only does my house not have a roof, I also have no personal vehicle, because last October I got in a car accident and another perfectly rated insurance company, State Farm,
He's trying to commit insurance fraud.
has refused to pay the claim. So
that's a lie. They paid the claim. It's just that the value of the vehicle is very low, and he wasn't happy with the payout.
I have to go months and months and months racking up my credit card with car rental fees. And at what point am I going to be compensated? I've had to file lawsuits against both of these agencies in the courts, but they usually take at least a year to even have a hearing. So, I mean, and if I file a motion for sanctions, the judge is going to laugh at me like I'm a bum out on the street in front of the courthouse, or like some random kid knocking on his window. Like, the local courts don't care. So the only thing I can do is post about this on social media and hope that I get some help. Because what's the point of paying for insurance if they don't do anything when things go wrong and you have emergencies?
This beef behind me, thousands of pounds of fresh, local, grass-fed beef from a cow that was alive 5 days ago. For reference, any meat in your local supermarket is minimum 6 weeks old, sometimes up to 2 months old because of how commercial beef processing is. And one of our customers did a grocery haul where the top comment was complaining that, oh, the meat's frozen, I can't follow my raw primal diet. First of all, we have a fresh meat shipping option on the website. I guess the raw primal dieters can't afford the $5. Second of all, I'm not down here doing this absurdly crazy stuff. I would bet my life that no one else has beef this fresh. I promise you, no one else in the entire United States has 5-day-old beef ready to be shipped out Monday of next week. I promise you that. People slang.
Dodo tellers, why do we allow women to put in positions they are totally unqualified for? It's just some gay retarded cuck shit, dude. Thanks for the donation, Dodo.
Whose borders were defined in the lifetime of your grandparents? Or is it the person selling you the newspapers who is siphoning off the money into a tax haven elsewhere? That is ultimately who is pushing this complete propaganda and fact manipulation. This is not a real reflection of events.
So please explain to me how there are Sharia courts in the UK. Please explain to me why the CIA has said the UK is one of the worst places for radical Islamic terrorism. Like this is just fucking. Please explain to me how you can see the fucking demographic changes actually happening. And this is from the government's own fucking data.
But my response to that would be, I'm not questioning the validity of your criticism of billionaires. That's fine, but it's not really going to the heart of what my question was, which is whether Jim Ratcliffe, when he said that this country.
You know, VG, remember when I said, what's happening? A woman with people like Trump in power is kind of like the novel The Shrinking Man but in reverse. Apparently Hollywood just stole my idea.
Let me take a look.
Who's at the door?
I'm so sorry. It was an accident.
Make me big again.
The thing is,
I could die? Tiny?
you're not gonna die tiny. You'll be safe in the dollhouse. This is kind of nice.
Except for the tiny elephant in the room.
That is a movie I would not watch. Thanks for the donation, though, Dodo. That looked awful. This looks good, though. I really like this. Wow. I really like her bum a lot. I want to kiss those cheeks. I'd kiss there, kiss there, kiss there, kiss there, kiss there. Just kiss it all over. That is such a nice bum. Maybe I'll get some avocado sushi today too. I don't know. I want something Asian and soup.
What are your thoughts on Frank's claim that he has the most fresh beef in the US and that it's 5 days old?
Well, he's usually completely and utterly full of shit. So, you know, some of the reason why, you know, like,
Things have gotten so much worse.
they wait so long to sell beef is because it changes the flavor for the better. If you just freshly slaughter an animal, it tastes weird. So I don't know how that's necessarily a benefit, but thanks for the donation, V. The lips creep me out, though. She has sexy lips. I like her, like, big, sexy lips. I also like her big bum. That is nice.
Country has had an unsustainable influx of migrants coming into the country, both legally and illegally.
I had a weird dream where I was smoking cigars. And I think I got into a bunch of fights with people on a boat for some reason. It's kind of hard to remember, but yeah, I remember I was on a boat and I was like fighting people and then I was like smoking a cigar.
which has made the population massively higher, but huge burden onto our public services, but also led to a lot of, I would say, unrest in parts of Britain where there is a sense that the culture of individual towns or cities has been completely changed by the influx of migrants. And, all these things can be true at the same time. So in relation, just before I move to the rest of the panel, in relation to those points that he made, would you concede that we've allowed too many people to come in?
Only 1% of the land in this country is used for house building. There is about 1 in every 65 people in London who is homeless. You're right, there is a strain on public services, and that's because austerity, which has been a bipartisan orthodoxy, a necro-political bipartisan orthodoxy, is believed to have led to the death.
That's maybe VG, but it's also true because the novel was about the decline of masculinity during the 50s, and now the same thing is happening, only to women this time with Trump in power and Islam taking over.
Yeah, I guess. Thanks for the donation, Dodo. Austerity measures have fucked over the NHS in particular, but you can look at the amount of social spending over time. It's like where money is really getting funneled out is the welfare system. And it's because of immigrants. Immigrants are being just truckloaded fucking in. They're claiming asylum, which they're not real asylum seekers. And then they're able to live in the country for fucking free. They're getting free room, free board, free food. They're even given like a fucking allowance. It's insane. So, again, this guy's just making up fucking weird horseshit that has nothing to do with the actual topic.
Deaths, the preventable deaths of at least 130,000 people. That's according to Danny Dorling of Oxford University. So yes, there's a strain on public services, but it's certainly not because of people getting £37.50 per week or people that have no recourse to public funds. It is because there has been a death by 1,000 cuts mentality practiced towards public services. And people have that perception because they've been propagandized with it on a daily basis by a media which is almost pogrom pushing, Piers, to be honest with you. It's a miracle that more people haven't been attacked and harmed in the streets with the level of propaganda that people are subject to in this country.
You can look at the rates of violent assaults. There's a disproportionate amount of fucking migrants committing the assaults.
Okay, Andrew Gold, I live in West London, in an area which has a lot of rich people and a lot of very poor people. And I walk up and down my local high street. It's incredibly multicultural. Pretty much every store, every hairdressers or dry cleaners or restaurant, whatever, is manned and owned and staffed by people from all over the world. It's an extraordinary place to live and I love it. I don't recognise the depiction of the part of London I'm in as being overrun by radical Muslims. In fact, the opposite. Now,
Yeah, that's because you don't live in a fucking poor neighborhood, dipshit. What's the really bad place? I know there's like Birmingham. What's the other one? I think it begins with a P. There's a few areas that are really, really fucking bad.
There are parts of the country which are predominantly Muslim in terms of population demographic, and that people who may live there who are not Muslim feel like things have changed very fast and not necessarily in the way they feel comfortable with. I accept I don't necessarily live in one of those places, but this idea that we've been overrun by radical Muslims, as Megyn Kelly put it, I do think is a massively wild exaggeration that is not to me.
Like this is, it's just so bizarre. Like, this is the way it goes. This guy is like one of the, he's super fucking wealthy. Like, he has to have in the over 100 million net worth. And then he's surprised that his neighborhood isn't overrun by a bunch of poor, brokey fucking migrants. Like, no shit. If you live in one of the wealthiest parts of the fucking country and you're a mega millionaire, they're not going to send all the poor, broke, fucking, losers into your fucking neighborhood because they couldn't fucking afford it and they know it's going to piss off all the rich people. So they send all the fucking migrants to the shithole fucking armpits of the fucking country. Then all the working class, jerk-offs have to deal with them. That's why when you look at, the fucking Muslim rape gangs, all the fucking girls that have had to deal with the fucking gang rapes and shit that were going on, they're all from fucking poor families. They're never from any fucking rich families. Like, it's because it's where they locate all the fucking migrants, you fucking idiot.
Me bearing a relevance to the reality.
No, I don't know if we've been overrun by radical Muslims.
Like, this is literally like if you lived in fucking like Beverly Hills, California, and then you said, oh, well, there's no homeless people in my neighborhood. I never see any homeless. Like, I think all the stuff about like homelessness is just so overblown. Like, when I go out, like, I live in Beverly Hills, and when I go out, I don't see any homeless people. Like, yeah, no shit. You live in like the fucking wealthiest part of the fucking entire country.
Muslims, that might be a bit strong. If we continue the way we're going, that probably will happen. I mean, we just have to look at historical precedent of what happened in Iran, Afghanistan, Lebanon. Once it starts, it's unlikely to stop. I think those who are not concerned about Islam simply don't understand what Islam is. They don't understand extreme religion. I grew up, I'm a Jewish
This whole conversation is just a fucking stupid waste of time, dude.
person. I grew up and I know what the Hasidic Jewish community are like. I know that they are, in many cases, a law unto themselves. But they're a tiny, tiny proportion of the country. If there were 5 or 6 million of them and they were having more and more children, bringing more and more people into this country, I think we'd all have a huge problem with that. Now, when these people come into this country and have an entirely different culture to our own, and then they are encouraged not to adopt ours, but in the name of multiculturalism to celebrate their own, then they're going to bring their culture with them. And that means, just like in the 50 to 55 countries that are Islamic, there is no homosexuality. Maybe in 1 or 2 it's kind of allowed, but it's frowned upon. Women are treated as second-class citizens. Loki made the point about it being a miracle that more Muslims aren't attacked on the streets. Well, we are seeing Jews attacked on the streets day after day. We even had a Little Britain guy was just screamed out on the street. That is literally happening day after day after day. We get people from places like Pakistan. We get tens and tens of thousands.
Yeah, like, buddy, they're having this conversation, a couple months after that Bondi beach attack in Australia, where they literally just tried to murder as many Jews as they possibly fucking could, and then we're having this conversation about Muslims aren't a fucking problem.
From Pakistan. According to Pew Research, the percentage of people in Pakistan who dislike Jews or have unfavorable views of Jews is 99%. So Jewish families that I know, they take down any identifying features that show they're Jewish. That cannot be, that is not the Britain that I grew up in. That is not the Britain of the 90s and the 80s. This is we're headed for trouble right now. And unless we stop this now, unless people start taking it seriously, then things are going to get progressively worse and people are going to have to leave not just this country, but Europe.
Well, let's go to Cenk Uygur, who's across the pond. I mean, Cenk, it's been very striking to me that, Elon Musk, just in recent months, has posted on X, civil war in Britain is inevitable. That's had 58 million views. When reposting a graph showing foreign national sex crime arrest rates, Musk commented, the rape of Britain. Remember to drop a white feather for the cowards who failed to stop this. Again, if the current British government is on the side of the people of Britain, then are they, by definition, traitors? And so on and so on. Very highly charged inflammatory language. And again, a lot of mythology about this. For example, Musk is right to say the grooming gang scandal in the UK was an absolute disgrace, particularly in relation to Rotherham and Telford, where thousands of predominantly young white English girls were sexually abused and raped by, largely, in these particular scandals, British Pakistani.
Largely, you mean there was like literally only one white dude, or I think it might have been a white woman who was arrested. But yeah, every other arrest, they're all Pakistani.
Muslim men. That's undeniable. But if you actually look at the wider percentage in terms of the whole country, you would find, according to the police and the Crown Prosecution Service, that if you look at 2024, for example, for all serious indictable offences, including rape, 83% were committed by white people.
So this statistic is just complete nonsense. And like, again, this is just the white guilt fucking cope. First of all, we know for a fact the police refuse to make any prosecutions against these Muslim men because they're afraid of being called racist and shit like that. The police in the UK also have a very, very fucking long history of just abject, horrible fucking sexism against women. There would be fucking girls that were who are being gang raped by these Muslim men. The police would show up at these houses, sometimes called by these girls who are asking for help by the police, and the police would arrest the girls for underage drunkenness. And you can look at some of the reports the police made. They would talk about these underage girls being fucking prostitutes. They would see them as less than fucking human beings because they came from poor families. And they would just see them as like, just like some whore prostitute chick, getting drunk and fucking a bunch of dudes, fucking sluts, and then they wouldn't make any fucking arrests against the men who were grooming them and fucking committing statutory rape. And sometimes just straight up gang rape. So like for him to say, oh, well, if you look at the broader statistics, well, the fucking statistics don't tell you the whole fucking story. We know there's a lack of fucking prosecutions against these men. So I don't know what fucking point is being made when you even look at the statistics, because they're going to be skewed. And secondly, the way these fucking crimes are being committed is completely fucking unique. You see fucking Muslim rape gangs. These men would collude with each other and form criminal organizations that were centered around grooming and like raping these fucking underage girls. The other, like, when you're talking about some of these white statistics of like white dudes having sex with underage women, that is not the same way the crime is being perpetrated. Like, this is the whole fucking reason why they made the RICO cases in the United States. It was to deal with a certain form of organized crime. So like the way these crimes are being perpetrated is completely fucking different. And it's a unique situation with the Muslim community. So like, fuck right off. And like, yeah, you would expect to see a statistic like this because fucking Muslims are a minority, you fucking idiot. Like, oh my God, I just can't.
The issue with lefties is that they place no limits on their ideological goals. They want equal rights for all, but if you allow people who want to take away the rights of others to hold power, they will completely defeat your goals. There should be limits.
I don't know what the hell you're talking about. Thanks for the donation that way.
7% by black people, 6% by Asians. The majority of child exploitation, sexual exploitation suspects, 83%, and victims, 85%, were white. Data from 2024 indicated that only 3.9% of group-based abusers were of Pakistani heritage, 85% were white. Now, statistics can tell myriad stories, but I think the point I would make in telling you those figures is that if you listen to some people across the pond, there's a sense that, all the sexual abuse in the country is being perpetrated by Pakistani Muslim men. That's simply not true. We've had some disgusting scandals, which were terribly badly handled and covered up by governments and authorities who thought it was too racially incendiary to reveal who was perpetrating them. But that doesn't mean that Britain is awash with these people perpetrating these crimes on a gigantic scale across the country. So there's a lot going on here. But my overriding sense, living mostly in the UK, is that this characterization is false. What do you make of it?
Yeah, so look, almost all of our corporate media pundits that are in the establishment media, our politicians, et cetera, do propaganda, and this is propaganda. Now, let me explain why. They say, oh my God, we might have a Muslim takeover of our countries. Israel's already taken over all of our governments. And it's not just Israel, big pharma.
Oh my God. Literally right out of the gate with the insane anti-Semitism. Like, this is all they have to say. Muslims aren't the problem. It's actually the Jews. The Jews took over the government. They're trying to control the whole fucking world. Why are we talking about Muslims when it's the fucking Jews? Did you know the Jews committed 9/11? I'm done. Totally done.
For the crypto millionaire who sued me.
Like, this is like Piers Morgan is just fucking pure brain rotted horse shit.
Years ago, as he's now just lost a $2.8 million defamation lawsuit. And it seems like he's the prime example of you really get the energy that you put back out into the world. Like, dude's been a scumbag for years, and it's really catching up to him. And if you don't know who this guy is, yeah, I feel like this is kind of like walking into a theater halfway through the 9th movie of Star Wars when you know nothing about the series. Because it's safe to say, a lot's happened.
Do I have your attention now? Do I have it?
But BitBoy Crypto used to be the largest crypto channel. He showed a
Dodo, donate $2. This is why the deportations are so important. We don't want this crap in our country, and also Mexico needs a leader with a strong hand, not their female harebrained hugs, not guns president. Yeah. Well, I mean, look what's going on. Like, Mexico isn't a real country. We've known that. If you have a female president, you don't have a real country. I think Japan has a female president right now. Like, it's not a real country. It just shows that the society is completely broken and corrupt. Like, the drug cartels are basically in control of fucking everything. Yeah, sure enough, there's like some dumb bitch fucking leading the country doing absolutely nothing. And then, when one drug cartel member dies, all hell breaks loose, and it's like a fucking full-on civil war. It's just retarded. Government has declared red alert. Nemesio something blah blah blah, leader of the blah blah blah, killed during raid. Cartel has launched what it calls full-scale war. Militants openly attacking units of Mexico's National Guard. Yep. Cartel has also reportedly offered $1,200 reward for every police officer or soldier killed. Yeah, that's what female leadership gets you. Thanks for that donation, Dodo. Dodo donated $2 once again. The polarized caps can't melt soon enough. Yeah, I agree. Thanks for the donation, Dodo. Is Jank or Hassan worse? Hassan. Way worse. I don't know why we can't just all agree that butts are great and we just all hug and kiss butts. Society is just it's just nonsense. I'm just totally checked out at this point. Just fuck everybody, fuck everything. Everyone's just such a fucking idiot. It's so bizarre that you know, we've seen this sort of shit happen before, like, you know, the communist takeover of China, of Russia, the fascist takeover of Germany, Italy, and then people end up falling for the same stupid, brain-rotted propaganda again and again and again. Like, people are just dumbass, fucking retarded chimpanzees. That's what society is made up of. Dumb motherfuckers. So, yeah, just check out. Check out and just do what you need to do to get by.
Whole bunch of tokens to his fans, and a whole bunch of them went to zero. A lot of
Dodo donated $2. You're right, VG. Everyone's an idiot. No one has good political takes. Even Destiny has become a massive dumbass cuck. Name one person with good political takes. Seriously, you cannot. Yeah, pretty much. Oh. It's very rare. Thanks for the donation, though, Dodo.
That look like shit. That still looks like shit. Come on!
This is
Ferrari with a electric engine. They're all gonna find out I'm a fake. Shut the up!
Julian right here, 18 years old, right? 19.
Seen so far with him. If you compare him now to the videos he was posting like a year ago, when he was 18 years old, his face actually looks younger. His face doesn't look as bloated.
maybe it's different lighting, or he lost weight.
Which in my opinion is actually an advantage for him, because he actually looks like a 19-year-old.
Like big.
Hello. How's my kitty? Making some good biscuits? So handsome. Like it when I rub your cat butt? That's a good cat butt. Wow. So pretty. So nice and pretty. You know I love you? Yes, I love you. You're really good. Yeah, you're really good and I love you. Oh. This is a good cat. This is a really good cat. Oh, I love him. What a good baby. So soft. So pretty. I love your little pink nose. His toe beans are pink. Yeah, you're so pretty. Oh, my beautiful brown boy. I love you. You're just so good. You're just so good.
Biggest natural 19-year-old, and I saw it, I liked it, and I said I just want to see how his engine works. Every car looks pretty on the outside. I want to see the engine. As long as I like the engine.
So interesting situation here.
That sounded pretty gay.
Where Hadi mentioned that he wants to see Julian just to come back and promote this guy as a natural bodybuilder, as the next big thing in the industry. Because unless you've been living under a rock or you simply don't have the experience, we all know that Julian Fitzgerald is not natural.
Like usual, I don't really know.
In all likelihood, he's natural.
What we doing? I haven't talked much to Unc in the past. 50? You heard him? Come on!
Medium to long term, it can cause a lot of wear and tear on your joints if you're gonna survive that long and you're not gonna get injured before that.
That don't mean stop. Control it. Don't you die second set. Don't you die second set. 30. I don't like that. I don't like.
This is just so stupid. Diamond Jim just triggers the absolute fuck out of me. Like, they do the dumbest shit, dumbest exercises, and then, like, the cherry on top, you're not allowed to drink fucking water. Like, give me a fucking break. What kind of fucking idiot would go there?
Like that. I want 55 push-ups. Go. You earn it on the back end.
The amount of
Hey, donate $2. Oh, look who's grumpy that TVT is live streaming. Funny watching anti-vegan cope because you said animal slaughter is cruel.
That's it. I'm calling it. That vegan teacher is in cognitive decline. She's lost it, lost the plot. It's all over. Career move.
Tofu. Woohoo!
I'm everywhere, and this is what got me to make this video.
Like
Pigs.
6 months old. Somebody puts them in a gas chamber in the same way that the Nazis murdered the Jews. Pretty despicable. Pretty awful.
I mean, yeah, sure. They're killed via gas, but not in the same way those evil people murdered the Jews.
Yeah, it's kind of like exactly the same. The only difference is they're using CO2 gas rather than Zyklon B, which is arguably in some ways worse because the gas the Nazis used, it basically suffocated you to death, and it was somewhat slow. You can see how people would try to struggle to get air, and they'd create these like weird piles because the gas was like heavier than just normal air you breathe. So it would collect on the bottom, and people would fight to climb up to the on top of each other so that they could get air. The way pigs are gassed, they use CO2, so it basically like burns your eyes and skin and like the inside of your lungs because it's so acidic. So it basically feels like you're breathing fire and you can't even fucking open your eyes and shit. And you're like burning from the inside out and crap. So like in different ways, it's worse. Like I don't know if I could say I have a preference with how I'd be gassed either way. So yeah, they're basically like, you know, getting gassed like Jews, regardless.
I mean, those people were put in gas chambers because of their religion, human beings, and gas.
They weren't put in gas chambers because of their religion. They were getting put in gas chambers based on their ethnicity. It wasn't a religious belief. It was ethnic. There was an ethnic basis for it. What a fucking idiot. He doesn't even... Yeah. Getting views.
I have my jean jacket on because I just got home from eating dinner. Over here in Italy, we went to eat...
Yeah, dude, it's pretty crazy how she's popping off. Good for her, man. She's, I've seen the debates she's been having with, a lot of young kids. It's pretty good. Thanks for that donation, eh?
Vegan teacher has lost the plot. She's gone mad. Greater than plays 3-second clip of vegan teacher singing about tofu. Yeah, okay, buddy.
Yeah, I know, dude. From day one, the complaints people made about that vegan teacher have just been insane. Like, my God, it's just baffling to me how she could do anything to trigger anybody. Like, honestly, it's just a bunch of miserable, retarded fuckwits who can't handle seeing somebody who's like just happy and cheery and sharing a good message about being kind to animals, and then these miserable fucktards just have to make up bullshit and harass her and crap. Thanks for that donation, though, 21st.
I watch lots of North Korean defector human rights activists on YouTube. For some reason, they make stupid claim that we had to eat beans, eggs and tofu for protein, we needed meat, but had no access or similar. Annoying how anti-vegan this content is.
North Korean defectors are almost universally weird, dishonest liars. People have pointed this out. Some of it has to do with financial gain. So there's a lot of money in media for being a North Korean defector. So they're charging like thousands of dollars for some of these interviews. Like, it's not uncommon for them to get like 10, 15, 20K payouts for some of these news interviews. And in order to keep that cash coming, well, they end up having to make up stuff, right? Like, they have to say something new and different to justify another interview. So a lot of them end up lying or stretching the truth in some way and contradicting some of their own stories. And some of it also has to do with like weird traumatic shit they went through, and they end up lying about some of the stuff that happens just because they have trouble reconciling some of the crap they've done. But yeah, a lot of them they say weird, stupid, dumb shit. Thanks for the donation, Vegan Dragon.
Her video on the N-word was her best TBH. Highly based. Nice, interesting, great, good, amazing, rare. Went something like that. I agree wholeheartedly with her. Reclaim the word nigger. Use it as much as you'd like. Nigger, nigger.
Yeah. I'm sure you would think that. Thanks for the donation, 21st.
That they are doing is ridiculous. I mean, let's face it, Julian is more of a bodybuilder. As bodybuilders, we don't train like that. These supersets are super high reps, lots of volume. I'm pretty sure that after a set, unless you're training in this type of way, you will be completely done. So the next exercise, you would think that they finish with the pressing. Well, you guessed wrong, because they go straight into a hex bar shoulder press.
Come on. 35 is what? 20.
But this time with 2 dumbbells.
Press to the shoulder press. Don't look at me like that. That still looks like shit. That's more of a chest press to the shoulder press. Don't look at me like that. I don't like people. Come on, you got all that muscle. I want to see your engine. I want to see your engine.
So cringe.
So hard, you ain't going nowhere, kid. You gotta figure. Fight back. Wait. Come on. It's all right. Come on. It's right there. He gonna go. Both.
Like, why are they even doing this?
And
What
Jeff
is that
Nippard.
doing?
And in that video, his engine was strong. He was lifting a lot of weight. And he was bragging that generally, he's lifting a lot of weight. Jeff Nippard and Farhad Hussein, they were so impressed that this guy is so young and so strong and so muscular. And then we see a different engine on him when he started training with Hamid Rambot, that he was actually super weak, but not weak, super weak. I made a video about it and I dissected everything, and it was so ridiculous because he looked that they're actually acting and they're not genuine. But now once again we see him in a video where he's underperforming, his engine is weak, so you don't really know what kind of version Nastia, like we see here in this video. Yes, he has an amazing physique, yes, he has a bright future ahead of him, but guys, please, let's stop the nonsense. He's not a natural bodybuilder, and I'm not saying this because
I'd be very, very fucking surprised if this kid was on steroids. Very, very fucking surprised. There's just some things that give it away, like his like biceps and triceps are disproportionately large compared to his shoulders and traps. Like, unless he just doesn't do any training for his shoulders and traps, like you just wouldn't see those sorts of proportions. There's also like no lifts that I've ever seen him do where it's like, okay, there's just no chance ever that somebody his age could be that strong doing that lift. It just doesn't make any sense. So yeah, just his proportions and shit. I like the lack of, like, he's strong, but like nothing's like, okay, you can't do that without steroids.
WTF, that nigger is 19 and he has bigger biceps than you. And according to you he's natural. So you're saying you're 35, on steroids, and you're smaller and weaker than a natural 19-year-old? Yikes.
I don't know if he has bigger biceps than me. I don't know what his arms measure in at. They look more impressive, but I don't know if they're bigger or not. And yeah, I mean, that's just the way things are. Some people are gonna have more impressive body parts than you, whether they're natural or not. Thanks for the donation, dude. Vegan Dragon. Oh wait, I skipped that.
North Korean Yeonmi Park is weird. She caters to vegans a lot. We both fight for the voiceless. Next minute my favorite food is steak. She say she don't believe in religion, but in Texas she said I was helped by Christian missionaries. God bless us all.
She's one of the biggest liars. Jordan Peterson interviewed her and shit. People have pointed this out. She's probably one of the biggest lying North Korean defectors. She's probably got like some sort of personality disorder where she absolutely needs as much attention as possible. And you can just see the way she tries to like, with all the shit she says, she tries to appeal to every crowd, every audience she's in. She's very likely, like, got narcissistic traits or something. But yeah, she's one of the biggest lying North Korean defectors who has made up the most amount of bullshit. Thanks for that donation, though, Vegan Dragon.
back and promote this guy as a natural.
I like that.
Yeah, anyway.
About genetics.
I don't know.
These were not disclosed as paid promotions, but, you know, during this time, Ben
Oh my god.
That
YouTube
look
makes
like
no sense. The fucking crap. Ugh.
His biceps are clearly bigger than yours, dude. No need to cope. Flex your biceps right now. Even though yours are much fatter and don't have the same lean-toned look as his, yours are still smaller lol clearly. Embarrassing. You're 35 and on gear.
Well, I'm not quite 35 yet, but close. Thanks for the donation, dude. Oh my god, this...
In the video today, I'd like to discuss with you why I fucking hate steroids, and I think so should
'cause you're a retarded dumbass beta male.
you. So just to make you guys understand, for me,
So this is all gonna be stupid horseshit, by the way.
it almost feels like I'm on a personal crusade, because I really hate the direction of our fitness industry. There's quite a few negative phenomena born out of it, like fake naturals, kids and teenagers taking steroids, females taking
Fake naturals. Like, this is clearly a caricature of Sam Sulek. When the fuck did Sam Sulek ever give people the idea that he's natural? Like, it's just fucking retarded. 21st, when I tell her is not flexing because you know it's... You're fucking hilarious, dude. Thanks for the donation. Oh my god. Oh, man.
taking strong male hormones, ED issues, self-esteem issues.
Oh boy, male hormones. Ah, they're evil. Oh, male hormones. Masculinity is bad. Why would anyone want to be more of a man? Oh, I hate my testicles. I hate them. Why was I ever born a man? Why did people make horrible, awful, evil drugs that mimic male hormones when they're so bad and awful? This guy's a fucking faggot. Like, you're actually a fucking bitch. The only logical fucking reason, the only rational reason anybody would have an issue with taking steroids would have to be health consequences, where it's like, okay, if they're so bad for you, they outweigh the benefits to taking them, right? Like, that's just how people make, that's just basically the risk calculation that people make. Does the risk outweigh the reward? And that's why I never took them until fairly recently. Well, if you do any fucking actual research into these drugs, the reward far outweighs any fucking risk. And I mean, people use these general fucking terms like, oh, steroids. Okay, well, what steroid, in what dose, like what frequency of use, you know, like, and again, depending on your own side effect, your own personal reaction to these drugs, like what side effects are you even getting from them? You can look at randomized trials on testosterone. That has to be like one of the safest drugs ever fucking made. Even doses that go up to 600 milligrams per week, you are solidly juicing at that point. That's more testosterone than I've ever taken. Right now, I'm on about 437 milligrams of test per week. So not even close to 600 yet. And you see no changes in LDL cholesterol, no changes in fucking blood pressure. You do tend to see increases in hematocrit, but they're within like the normal expected range. There's no indication that you have like thick blood that's prone to clotting. So doses that are where you are solidly in performance enhancing range, it like does nothing bad to you and you only get fucking benefits. And that's even for older individuals. Like, we're talking, some of these randomized trials included men in their 60s. And again, no changes in fucking blood pressure, LDL cholesterol, hematocrit, which would indicate like increased cardiovascular risk. And obviously you get benefits. You build more muscle, you feel fucking amazing, you have a whole bunch of mood and cognitive enhancing benefits. You have increased vasodilation, your cardiovascular output increases substantially. So you've got like this miracle fucking drug on your hands that just turns you into like superhuman with practically zero fucking risk profile. Like, the only thing that you might want to worry about is hair loss. Like, that's literally at the top of the list in terms of like concerns for testosterone, especially because now we live in the era of like AIs. If you are at risk for getting gyno, you can just take an aromatase inhibitor. Like, literally the number one risk for taking testosterone is hair loss. And then this guy's like, these drugs are awful. Yeah, one of the safest, most well-tolerated drugs in existence are just so awful. Fucking retarded. "21st Tony Teller's bro said, I don't think his biceps are bigger than mine." Let me see. Julian Fitzgerald, bicep size. What did they measure in at? His specific bicep measurement in inches is not publicly disclosed. Like, if you're short, and I don't know how tall he is, it looks like he might be, yeah, it looks like he's probably around 5'10". So he's about average male height. No, 5'11". I think he's probably closer to 5'10". Because Larry is like, what, 6'1"? So I don't know about that, but he might be 5'11" on Tinder. But let's go with 5'11". So he's shorter than me. He's going to have shorter arms. So 4 inches shorter than me. Yeah, his arms might look bigger. Just because of his proportions, but he may not necessarily have arms that are bigger than mine. They look more... What in the fuck are you doing? I have no idea why he did that. So, yeah, his arms look better than mine. I'm not denying that. Gummy. But, they might be smaller. So, yeah, he has better arms than me, but his arms might actually still be smaller. I don't know. Thanks for the donation, though, dude.
Kinda funny how that 19-year-old nigger goes to Diamond Gym where they train like shit and he's natural and way younger and yet somehow he's bigger than you. Either your training is worse than Diamond Gym, you eat like shit, or a combination of both.
He's not bigger than me. He's like 5'11" and weighs like 200 pounds or something. Yeah, he's like right at 200 pounds, so he's not bigger than me. I'm 6'3", 240. I've got like 40 pounds on the guy. And if I was lean as him, I'd be like 230. I was 230 in the summer and just like fucking ripped. Thanks for the donation though. 21st. Depressed Repressed, $23. Muslim MP. Oh God.
Health risks with first cousin marriage. I agree this is an issue. This is an issue that needs greater awareness on. Virginity testing, forced marriages, and the freedom of women must be forced marriage must be prevented, and the freedom of women must be protected. at all times. However, the way to redress this is not to empower the state to ban adults from marrying each other, not least because I don't think it would be effective or enforceable. Instead, the matter needs to be approached as a health awareness issue and a cultural issue where women are being forced against their will to undergo marriage. In doing so, it is important to recognise for many people this is a highly sensitive issue, and in discussing it, we should try to step into the shoes of those who perhaps are not from the same culture as ours, to better understand why the practice continues to be so widespread. An estimated 35 to 50% of all sub-Saharan African populations either prefer or accept cousin marriages, and it is extremely common in the Middle East and in South Asia. The reason...
Like, by the way, they're advocating for this in a country that has socialized healthcare, ensuring that there are going to be more kids born with genetic diseases where throughout their entire lifetime, they're going to be a bigger burden on the healthcare system. So let's bring in retarded fucking immigrants that want to have retard, dumb fuck, genetic, like, just reject kids with their fucking cousins, and have those fucking kids just be an even bigger burden on the fucking social systems the country has. Like, nothing makes any fucking sense, and their defense of this is, well, it's Islamophobic and culturally insensitive to not let people breed with family members and have genetic fucking reject fucked up kids.
The reason the practice is so common is that ordinary people see family intermarriage overall as something that is very positive, something that helps build family bonds and helps put families on a more secure financial foothold. However, as is well documented, it is not without health risks for the children of those relationships, some of whom will be born inclined to be. A much more positive approach would be to facilitate advanced genetic test screening for prospective married couples, as is the case in all Arab countries in the Persian Gulf, and more generally to run health education programs targeting those communities where the practice is most common. I would therefore urge issues that are modern conflicts.
Yeah, it's the UK for you. Thanks for the donation, Depressed and Repressed. Ben Boyd donating $2. Do you think figure skating should be considered a sport? Well, I mean, who fucking cares? I got into an argument with someone about this, and I'm curious to hear your take. I mean, there's no objective basis as to who wins figure skating. So it's a dance competition. That doesn't necessarily mean it's not a sport. It just means there's not an objective criteria to determine who wins. You could, like, if we're gonna say there's no objective criteria to determine who wins, then that would also disqualify weightlifting as a sport, because they have, like, the most dumb fuck retarded rule called the fucking press out rule. And because of the press out rule, they can completely and utterly destroy an athlete's fucking career. And regardless of how impressive their lift is, regardless of whether or not they broke a fucking world record, they can just say, no, your elbow, like, wiggled a little bit when you had 500 fucking pounds lifted over your head. It's bizarre. So, yeah, because in weightlifting, they have this, they have 3 judges, and on top of that, they have a jury. And the jury is made up of people who've never done weightlifting before. And based on some, like, weird, arbitrary, like, subjective criteria of not being able to press out a lift, like where your elbows aren't completely locked and then you lock your arms later, it invalidates a bunch of lifts for no reason. And so, like, and again, it's subjective. There's no objective basis to really judge whether or not somebody violated the press out rule. So on that basis, you could say weightlifting is basically is not a sport if we're going to say non-objective criteria for winning or losing invalidate something as a sport. So I don't know. I'd have to hear your friend's argument. Thanks for the donation, though, Ben Boy.
VG, did you know that bullying is wrong and we should defend the rights of humans? Unless you're an animals. Then you're the bully if you stand up for them. Darman is pathetic normie who goes with the trends.
How come cats are just so awesome?
I normally don't do these kinds of videos, but I just want to address the elephant in the room. Every day, my comments are flooded with people saying, "Where's Mikey? Bring Mikey back. If Mikey doesn't come back, I'm switching to Cocoa Milk." Look, I'm just going to say this straight up. Mikey is not coming back. Look, guys, he's called Mischief Mikey for a reason. He's just too much of a liability to have at the studio.
Or something? Some buying us stoves. Leave you just.
You expect me to watch this shit? Like, yeah, no. Thanks for the donation, dude. I don't need $2. This guy is two-faced. Secretary Kennedy, tell American pesticides and herbicides are toxic by design. No, engineered to kill living organisms. That's like saying soap is toxic by design. Like, what the fuck do you mean by that? When we apply them across millions of acres and allow them in their food system, we put Americans at risk. Chemical manufacturers paid $1 billion, settle cancer claims. Fortunately, it depends heavily, blah, blah, blah. Bring agricultural chemical production back to the United States. Yeah, pesticides are bad. They're killing our kids. Let's use more pesticides. All right. It's all just bullshit. Thanks for the donation, Dodo.
I guess Muslims practicing incest as part of their culture explains why they are so stupid. They all inbred.
Yeah, well, that's actually verifiably... That's a verifiably provable fact. You can look at IQ and rates of inbreeding. Muslim countries with high rates of inbreeding have lower IQs. So, yeah, the fact that these cultures and societies are like so fucking insane and retarded, it can be related to inbreeding. Thanks for the donation, Ben Boy.
Body dysmorphia and so on. And a lot of the times
there is absolutely no evidence whatsoever that steroids increase the rates or put you at higher risk for body dysmorphic disorder.
people want fast results and they are willing to do and to take anything. So here is where PEDs and other substances come into play to help people get the physique they want at a way faster rate, but sometimes with dire side effects, which can take years out of their life. But the thing is, a lot of people don't acknowledge.
Here we go. This is like saying drugs are bad. Like what drugs? Taken for what reason? What dose? Like for how long? It's just remarkable ignorance.
That a lot of the times these things can be achieved naturally. And that's why in my case I promote natural bodybuilding, natural aesthetics, health and longevity. This is the beauty of natural bodybuilding. But people are too freaking lazy. They want the results right now. They are not willing to work hard, to be patient, to
Oh, yes, because if you take steroids, you don't work hard. Like, this guy already knows what people look like if they take steroids and don't work hard. They look like clavicular, and this idiot has made videos on fucking clavicular.
I started
So, like, what the fuck? I mean, this just completely invalidates all of these stupid fucking claims about, oh, steroids are for lazy people. This guy made a fucking video talking shit about Clav being like small and weak and shit, but he's taking fucking steroids. Well, there you go. That's what you get when you take steroids and you don't work hard. You get clavicular, a guy who looks like a natural fucking lifter. So all these kids that you see who are fucking teenagers, who are on gear, who are super strong and look absolutely fucking yacked, they're taking steroids and they're fucking working hard. And in fact, steroids allow you to work harder than you would normally because they increase your ability to recover. So, like again, this is just moralizing bullshit. This is a fucking idiot who's jealous of people making more gains than him, and then in order to feel better about himself, steroid users are lazy. I actually work hard. You know, like, just fucking retarded. Like, and again, if anything, that's an indictment on the guy's intelligence. I'm going to work harder to make less progress. Does that sound like something a smart person would say? Like, if this guy found out some new exercise technique that, like, made him grow far faster than normal, it would give him results like, you know, he's taking steroids. Is this guy going to go out of his way to not train better? Because, oh, well, I'm making so much more progress while not having to train as much. That's lazy. I'm going to grow less muscle, be weaker, and train in a less efficient manner because I just care about hard work. Like, no. So the guy's a fucking retard.
Dedicate a part of their life to being fitter, healthier, to learn what it truly takes to get the physique that you want. To be fit, to be strong, and to be the best version of themselves, but with natural means. Because as a natural, what you get and what you gain, you keep. If you get those while being enhanced, you will lose it the moment the PED goes out of the picture.
So again, this is complete and utter nonsense, and they know it's nonsense. If this were true, you lose all your gains as soon as you stop taking steroids, then professional athletes wouldn't take them. Professional athletes can't blast steroids constantly year-round. They wouldn't get through drug testing. So they go through periods of time where they are on steroids, where their performance is going to be at the absolute peak. Then when they know they're going to have to go through rounds of testing, they come off so that they can pass some of the testing. Their performance drops, but it's still higher than what it would be if they were competing naturally. So they make the necessary adaptations to give them an advantage. And then by the time they're competing, again, they're competing at a higher level than they would be if they had never taken performance-enhancing drugs. And they keep going through that cycle. So, like, I don't know if I really need to fucking show a visual example of this, but for anybody who's, like, completely and utterly fucking retarded, let me help you out here, because I know you people, like, have trouble fucking reading books and shit. So let me draw a picture for you. So, like, let's just say this is performance. Whatever. I'm tired. I spelt that wrong. So performance can be like strength, speed, you know, whatever. And this will be just time, I guess. So, like at some point around here, like we're going through training cycles where we're preparing for a competition. So we'll use different colors here. I'll have like, I guess, training off steroids in blue. So you're going to have performance increase, obviously, over time. It's going to taper off if you're natural. Then you go on steroids. You get that same fucking performance boost. What ends up happening is, in order to pass drug testing, you have to come off the steroids. But once you come off, you're way higher than the peak asymptote when you're natural.
No VG, I wasn't expecting you to watch it. I just wanted to show you that Darnam is a boz. The politicians from the right wing should gains have said we don't give a fuck about your retarded inbred degenerate cultural beliefs. We have values unlike you.
Yeah. So, you know. There's a weird complex set of things going on. But yeah, basically, like, you know, a good example of this is kind of like the vote rigging that the Republicans are trying to do. Like, everyone's talking about how Trump's trying to rig the election with the electorate and how votes are counted and stuff like that. Well, Democrats do the same thing. Like, it's an open secret that the reason they're pro-immigration and they don't want voter IDs is because it gives them a better chance in the election. Like, a lot of these immigrants are going to vote Democrat, and like there are going to be a certain proportion of people who aren't citizens, who aren't legally allowed to vote, who are going to vote. So far, I haven't seen any data showing that the voter ID thing actually influences an election. But we know for a fact they're pro-immigration because they know it helps get them more votes. So each party does some of the stuff, you know, to give, to advantage themselves in some way. It just happens to be the case that Democrats are fucking retards and they don't care if their country gets overrun by fucking jihadists. They just want to get elected. And right-wing Republicans don't care if, you know, their country becomes a little more fascist. Just the way it is. But thanks for the donation, eh? Like, again, at the end of the day, everyone's fucking retarded, so just check out a society. So again, if you're training naturally, your performance is going to increase rapidly over a short period of time. Then it's going to peter off, and you're going to see this hyperbolic curve where performance slows down over time. Like, if we were to track this curve over time, it would still increase very, very slowly. But you're not going to get any big boost in performance. Steroids massively skyrocket your progress, just like when you first started training. But if you're a competitive athlete who's going through drug testing, you're not going to be able to stay on steroids. Unless you're competing for Russia in the Sochi Olympics. That's a different story. But what ends up happening is you have to stop taking steroids here because you know you're going to go through a testing period. So when you're going through a testing period, your performance is going to drop, but you'll notice you still maintain a big proportion of the progress you made. And then by the time you're competing around here, well, this is a big delta between, you know, this point and this point. And then ideally, you know, once the testing period's over, you can make progress again. You reach a higher asymptote. And then the testing period, you know, happens again, and then performance declines. But again, the like this is just how to cheat at sports 101. Everybody knows about this. This is why, like, John Jones was caught taking drugs. He's had tests where his testosterone was like in the fucking single digits, hypogonadal. Again, if steroids didn't confer performance enhancing benefits after you stop taking them, no athlete would be taking them unless you're on the fucking Russian Olympic team on the Sochi Olympics. So he knows this is bullshit, but he's just repeating this fucking lie because he wants to gaslight his dumb fuck audience. You'll also notice female bodybuilders or, competitive physique athletes or strength athletes. They will go for longer periods of time than men, not taking any anabolic androgenic steroids. The reason for that is they want to avoid some of the virilizing side effects that steroids have. So, I don't know why it does that, where I have to click on the fucking thing, but whatever. Natasha Offey would be an example. The Stephanie Sam bitch would be a good example. Vladislava Galagin, she would be a good example. So women in general, they have longer periods of time when they're off anabolic androgenic steroids if they're doing some kind of like, you see this with physique athletes, so like bodybuilders, physique competitors. You also see this with women who do powerlifting, strongman, strength sports that don't test for steroids at all. They take longer periods of time off these drugs because if they stay on the drugs year-long, constantly, never come off, they're going to start looking like men. Well, does Natasha Offey look like a normal fucking female who lifts? Or does she look like somebody who's had some anabolic enhancement? I can guarantee you this chick is not on fucking anabolic steroids constantly year round because she wouldn't have this like pretty fucking girl face. She looks like she's not growing facial hair. She's not getting androgenic alopecia. She doesn't have those masculinizing traits in her face. And she also doesn't have a deep fucking voice where she sounds like a tranny. And again, this chick is clearly taking anabolic androgenic fucking steroids. The reason she's able to avoid some of these side effects is because, like the fucking chart I just showed, you take the drugs, you get the benefits from the drugs, you go off the drugs, performance goes down a little bit, but you maintain some of the adaptations you made from the drugs. And you repeat that cycle, and that helps you as a female avoiding some of the side effects from the drugs. Even this chick, she has like some of the most fucking insane muscularity you've ever seen on a fucking woman in your life. By the way, she doesn't even train upper body. She only trains her lower body, and her upper body looks like this. She does not stay on steroids year long. She's made videos talking about this, going over how she maintains her physical size while off steroids, and she's talked about it. You take steroids for a little length of time so that you can make some of the training adaptations that you can't make naturally. Then you come off and you maintain the training intensity so that you have that anabolic signaling so that you can hold on to your fucking muscle mass. So, like again, this is not a secret. Everybody fucking knows about this. And this fucking idiot, same with Vladislava Galagin, you can tell just by looking at this chick. She has taken anabolic steroids in the past, yet she has maintained a lot of the muscularity that she has while off cycle. So I don't know, it's just a weird gaslight that a lot of these natty fucking purists like to fucking talk, like, it's just bullshit. Oh, if you come off steroids, you're going to lose all your gains. They know it's not true. It's just a gaslight that they like to tell themselves so that they can feel better. Like, oh, well, you have to stay on steroids. It's fucking stupid. One, why would you ever even come off if you're a man? It makes sense to lower doses periodically or something, but as a man, there's absolutely no reason whatsoever to come off completely. At least if you're in a sport that doesn't test for steroids. So if you're a powerlifter, bodybuilder, you do Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, I think there might even be some like Muay Thai divisions and shit that just don't test for steroids. Why would you come off?
I found it hilarious when Daniel Hakichu said that having a society of inbred is morally superior to an atheistic society. According to them, doing anything with the ass is wrong, but having a society full of highly disabled inbreds is completely okay. Lol.
Oh, yeah, dude. The Daniel Hikikijo debates are just fucking baffling. That guy is ironically the best ambassador against Islam while trying to promote Islam. Oh, yes, Islam is fine with raping children. We want to murder non-believers. We're fine with incest and creating, like, inbred retard children. He'll openly admit all of this while saying, oh, yeah, Islam's the way. Just, join our religion. It's insane. But it's hilarious. He's doing a great job, like, convincing everybody to not join Islam. Thanks for the donation, eh? Depressed and Repressed donated $2. Oh, yeah, this fucking guy.
Aisha at 6 and he consummated marriage at 9. I have zero problem with that at all. As long as we understand why that happened and we look into why he married her and so many things about his character. I've spoken to non-Muslims in the park and they've...
He married her because he wanted to have sex with a young girl. That is clearly the only reason why he did it.
Asked me this question. Wallahi, after I've broken it down, they said, that makes sense. So if it's from this angle, okay, we understand why he did that. Because in the UK, for example, 100 years ago, in William Blackstone's book, he talks about British common law. Girls were betrothed at the age of 7 in the UK 100 years ago. Forget 1400 years ago, 100 years ago. What we're saying is this. No one ever used this argument against the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, ever. This was something that was brought new in the 1900s by Orientalists, where they came and brought this new phenomenon of, oh my gosh, your Prophet married, da da da. So we're saying that
Orientalists? As if people didn't have a problem with raping children until recently? Oh my God.
Israel's intelligence agency has identified an Iranian official as the person responsible for directing anti-Semitic attacks in Australia. Mossad alleges Sardar Amar led a clandestine wing of the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps who recruits third parties to target Jewish communities overseas. It comes 2 months after...
Yeah, they do that. There was a journalist in, I think, Chicago who was also attacked by Iranian agents. She luckily survived. There have been a few attacks in Canada that were carried out by Iran.
The Prime Minister and the Chief of ASIO revealed 2 arson attacks in Sydney and Melbourne had been orchestrated by...
Yeah. Again, they need to wipe out the fucking Iranian regime.
But he can make an argument the keto, vegan, vegetarian diet is the diet to live a long life. That's patently false. If you go to Sardinia, you've got high carbohydrate consumption, ultra long life expectancy. You go to Singapore, you got very high meat consumption, ultra long life expectancy.
This guy is like an actual fucking retard. There is so much wrong from every angle with what he's saying. So, first of all, Singapore does not have a particularly high meat consumption. I don't know where he got that from. Secondly, they lie about their fucking their age and shit and whether or not they're alive to get a pension. So when you look at some of the data, oh wow, the average life expectancy in fucking Hong Kong or Singapore or Japan or certain regions of Japan, it's like 98, or they have the largest amount of centenarians. It's because their fucking family members lie about their fucking grandfather or great-grandfather still being alive so that they can collect their fucking pension money. Then when you look at the census data, oh wow, this region has like the biggest amount of centenarians, people living over 100, than anywhere on the planet. Yeah, it's because they're fucking dead and they lied about it. And a problem too is fuck. Give me a second. Oh jeez. Another problem too is there's no granularity to the data. Like longevity is such a it's such a complex thing. Like genetics go into longevity, lifestyle goes into longevity, like avoiding accidents, disease, like all these things go into longevity. So you can have cultures with very different genetics, very different exposures to different disease pathways. What you need is granularity to the data set. One culture might live long despite eating a lot of meat because they have higher socioeconomic status, they have lower rates of smoking and drinking and drug use, they have lower levels of stress, and better access to modern medicine, versus another culture that eats like a very good diet, very clean, low in meat, but they have lower socioeconomic status, lower access to modern medicine. But then, like, when you look at the data, the high meat consumers and the low meat consumers, they live about as long. It's because the fucking risk factors they're exposed to are fucking different. But if you actually controlled for these variables, you'd see, meat eating lowers your fucking life expectancy and eating a plant-based diet increases your life expectancy. Gary Brecka is just one of the dumbest motherfuckers I've ever fucking seen in my life. Like, this guy is just such a fucking stupid motherfucker. And fucking idiots like, what's his name? Dana White are like talking this guy up as though he's some kind of fucking genius. All he fucking does is tell people to eat clean, exercise, and take fucking steroids, and then they're acting as though, whoa, he changed my life. I went to doctors and all they gave me was fucking medicine for my high blood pressure and I felt like shit. Yeah, buddy, anybody can fucking tell you to eat clean, exercise, and fucking take steroids. Yeah, you're gonna feel fucking amazing. As if you have to be a fucking genius to figure this shit out.
So you go to the Mediterranean, you have a high oil and fatty fish consumption, ultra long life expectancy. The diet secret is to eat whole foods, not processed foods. But the two non-negotiables in living a long life or sense of...
Oh my god, this guy's just an idiot. Like, this is just one of the most remarkably ignorant fucking dumb fucks I've ever fucking seen in my entire life. It's just incredible how stupid that fucking guy is. Like at this point, anybody talking about the blue zones, like, oh yeah, the fucking Okinawans, like, yeah, they're fucking, it's pension fraud, you fucking idiot.
Do you think this is real or I/filter? You think this girl is uglier, Bella Ramsey?
I don't know if that's AI. She could be some, like, weird, like, I mean, again, there's a lot of inbreeding in the Middle East, so you get shit like this. Honestly, it's debatable if she looks uglier than Bella Ramsey. Like, Bella Ramsey is pretty bad. Thanks for the donation, though, eh? I was gonna say something else about this dumb shit,
You will
too.
lose it the moment the PED goes out of the...
Oh, yeah, losing your gains as soon as you stop taking steroids. So, like, again, especially if you're a man, there's no reason to assume you have to stop taking steroids at any point. I know some people talk about... but what if your steroid supply, like your drug dealer gets busted and you can't get the steroids anymore or something like that? One, who the fuck only buys steroids for the next few weeks or months? You generally buy a supply that's at least several months ahead so that, like, yeah, you won't have any issues getting the drugs you need. And if your dealer gets busted or something, okay, well, now you can work out some other supply and you have a few months to do that. Secondly, steroids have been on the market, easily accessible since about, let's say, the 1960s. Like, everybody had access to testosterone, dianabol, nandrolone, stuff like that. Has there ever been any point in the history of enhanced bodybuilding and sports in general where you saw people not be able to get access to any of these drugs and you saw people get smaller and weaker and slower and what have you? No. There's never been any point in fucking history where you've seen anybody get smaller, weaker, slower because they didn't have access to these drugs. So if for the last more than 60 years, there's never been a problem getting these drugs, I don't see that happening again anytime soon. Secondly, this fucking whole argument that, oh, if you stop doing it, you'll lose the benefits. Okay, that would go for food. That would go for exercise. If this guy stopped training, he would lose his muscle. If he stopped eating, he would lose his muscle and also die because you need food to live. So if they're going to make this argument that, oh, there's no point in taking steroids because if you stop losing them, you'll lose the benefits from them. Okay, that goes for brushing your teeth. That goes for eating food. That goes for exercise in general. If you stop exercising, if you stop eating, if you stop brushing your teeth, if you stop wiping your ass, guess what? You will wither away, you'll have malnutrition, your teeth will rot out of your head, and you're going to walk around with a shitty, dirty bum. So these are things that you have to keep doing, like they're maintenance activities to keep the benefits of them. You have to wipe your ass every day so that you don't walk around with a shitty, dirty bum. You have to brush your teeth every day so your teeth don't rot. You have to exercise regularly to keep your muscle mass and strength. You have to eat in order to, again, keep your muscle mass, strength, fuel your activity, and fucking live. And if you want to be like super muscular, super strong, super fast, all that crap, if you want superhuman performance, yes, you have to keep taking steroids. How is that a unique problem to steroid use when everything else requires that regular fucking maintenance? It's just fucking stupid.
The picture. So what actually molded me to think like this and to make me spread this message to the world, even though natural bodybuilding is rewarded less and less and less? Number one, I was taunted into hating people on steroids back in my first year of university, around 15-16 years ago. I found out that at the end of the year, my university is organizing a bodybuilding show. Very small, very local bodybuilding show. I already managed to build a decent physique and I wanted to give it a try. So around 6 months out, I was training really, really hard. I was pushing myself. I had this goal in my mind that I want to compete and I want to.
Why not use meth to help lift instead of testosterone? Well, Mike Menser did that. He would only take nandrolone phenylpropionate and he would do crystal meth for a pre-workout. And his meth habit over time would periodically get out of control. But yeah, Mike Menser did that. Devil's advocate, what about the examples of UFC fighters' physiques deflating when USADA came in, like Alistair Overeem, etc.? Well, again, that is a totally different circumstance where you're comparing somebody who could do steroids nonstop, never have to do any testing because it was literally in their contract and pride. We do not do drug testing. You can take whatever steroids you want. And then you're comparing somebody who has to go through USADA testing and can only periodically take drugs. So yeah, you're going to see physiques deflate. The normal course of things when you're looking at athletes that have to go through drug testing is the example I showed with, the Photoshop thing. You get a sharp increase in performance as a natural athlete, and then it peters off, and you see this hyperbolic curve where it only slowly improves over time. You take the steroids, and you see this really huge, sharp increase in performance. Then you go off the drug so that you can go through testing. You see a decrease in performance, but you're still at a higher point than the previous asymptote when you're natural. And then you hopefully win the competition because you get the benefits from the drugs. And then you go back on the drugs for a period of time and you use the drugs to just increase performance over time while skirting testing. You're obviously still going to look smaller and not look as good compared to just being able to blast as much drugs constantly throughout the entire year. That's why you see dudes like, what's his name, the Smashing Machine, Mark Kerr. Like, you're not going to see dudes in the UFC with physiques like this anymore. Like, that's what you get when you can blast steroids constantly. That's what zero testing looks like. Now, you've got dudes like John Jones. We know for a fact John Jones uses steroids and performance-enhancing drugs. He just can't use them constantly year-round. So the point still stands.
Vegan teacher is proof that you can be the most wholesome person, but if your message is be kind to animals, people will still hate you no matter what. You can't win.
Well, yeah, that's why I don't give a fuck. I don't give a shit what anybody says, what they fucking, like, the problem that they have with me or how I say it. It doesn't matter. Because, like, this is ideological. People will have a problem with you based on ideological grounds, not based on, you know, what you're actually saying or how you're saying it. Thanks for the donation, though, Ben Boy.
To look very good. So obviously I was doing my best. And then there was two guys who were planning to compete as well, who were coming to the same gym. But they were like not training very seriously, they were not very dedicated, they were not day in day out in the gym. And one day someone from the gym told me that he overheard a discussion they were having. Long story short, they were saying that, oh, look at Raz, he's training so hard, he's trying so hard. We are just going to take a couple of shots of Deca, and in a few weeks we will be way bigger than him. When this guy told me that, it flipped a switch in my brain, and I started training so freaking hard. It gave me such a massive boost and motivation. I was already locked in, but when I heard that, oh my god, it fired me up. I trained like crazy. I dieted hard, even though at that time I didn't have a coach. I did my own prep, and guess what? In the end, I managed to beat those guys, even though they were on steroids. After this event happened,
what evidence does he have these guys are on steroids? So he has no evidence whatsoever. Any of the people he competed against were on steroids. All he heard was like some eavesdropping of somebody saying, oh, look, he's training so hard. Let's just take Deca. That could have been a joke. He didn't know these people personally. He was just eavesdropping, and he might have misinterpreted this, and it could have been a complete joke. This guy is dumb as shit.
when I won this competition, a professor saw me, came to me and asked me, wow, you have a good physique. Do you belong to a club? Have you done this before? I was like, no, this is my first time doing it. I don't belong to any club. I just wanted to challenge myself. So here I am. What about drugs? Are you taking any drugs? How did you build this physique? I was like, drugs? No, I built this naturally. And then he said, I hope you're not lying, because I want to take you to a fitness club where they're really serious about competing, but one thing is for sure, you have to be 100% natural, because they will not take very kindly if they find out that you are using something. And of course, I said I have no fears, they can do whatever they want, they can test me, I am 100% natural. Couple of days later, I went to this club. This club was owned by two people, husband and wife, and they were preparing people for competitions. I got there, they checked my physique, they liked what they saw. Of course, I had a very serious discussion with them, if I'm natural or not, because for them, there was a lot at stake. They had other people who were training for competitions, and they were tested, and if someone got caught, their reputation would be to the ground. This club had amazing results with their athletes, and a lot of the time, other clubs from the...
So... this is a fitness club that deliberately stopped people from taking drugs that would make them better athletes, whether it be powerlifting, bodybuilding, what have you. Like, does this not sound like the dumbest shit you've ever heard in your entire life? Let's deliberately prevent people from becoming better athletes. What the fuck do they care if they're taking steroids? Like, it's fucking retarded.
other cities in the country, they were accusing this club that the athletes are using stuff. But even though they were tested, nobody was ever caught using something. And
Oh, yes. The good old... We use drug tests. We know they're not on steroids because we drug test. So, you literally cannot test for certain drugs, by the way. You cannot test whether for somebody is on testosterone or not because it's a bioidentical hormone. The only possible way you can test if somebody is taking exogenous testosterone is by doing a very expensive, very unusual carbon isotope ratio test. That's the only way you can test for testosterone. There hasn't been a test for growth hormone until fairly recently. So if you wanted to take growth hormone, you could take as much as you fucking wanted and, like, get away with it, no problem. Insulin, same thing. I don't even know if there is a test for insulin, actually. Maybe there is, but, like, you'd have to... If there even is a test for insulin, it would have to be, like, an extremely short testing window. Because even the longest-acting insulin, which is Lantus, that's only in your system for, like, 12 hours. So, yeah. Like, yeah... Trust me, I went to fitness club that did the exercise, and the fitness club that did the exercise, they do steroid test, and nobody didn't pass the steroid test. That's how I know everybody in fitness club is natural. Like, this just 9-year-old, like, dumbass, I believe in Santa Claus logic.
bear in mind, these people had experience. They were doing this for years and years and years. And if they only smelled that you might be on steroids, you would get in big trouble. On top of being kicked out from the club, not being allowed to compete anymore. These guys were very influential in the federation. So yes, they could do that, and I've seen it being done. And once I started training with them, they were constantly explaining to me the side effects of steroids, how it's not worth it, how you can build a great physique without the help of steroids.
The side effects of steroids aren't worth it. Not sure if you're aware of this, buddy, but your testicles, which I'm assuming you have, there should be 2 in between your legs. Those are producing steroids for you. So if the side effects of steroids aren't worth it, then why don't you cut your own fucking balls off, you dumb motherfucker? You can look at, like, there's a huge variation in serum concentrations of testosterone between adult men. So you can find men who have very low testosterone levels that are hypogonadal. Like, we're talking even single digits, and that's not from steroid use. That's just, like, an environmental issue or a genetic thing. And then you can see men that are, like, off the fucking charts, near, like, they're close to 2,000. There's a guy, the Laser Kid. Let me see. Laser Channel. I guess he's not a kid anymore, but yes, Styropro. This guy had testosterone levels over 1,500. And the only reason it says over 1,500, that's the highest the test goes to. So his testosterone might be over 2,000. He does not take steroids. So you have men who have testosterone levels at the low end of the range in the 200s, and you have men that are at the absolute high end of the range in the 1,500s. Guess what? Are the dudes at the high end of the range, like, dropping dead? Are they riddled with acne? Are they, like, fucking jerking off 15 times a day? Like, no. So, if testosterone was so deadly and dangerous and horrible for you, again, why are men with low testosterone actually, on the average, less healthy than men with higher testosterone? Like, testosterone is one of the, like, probably the most well-researched anabolic drugs, by the way. It's been studied for decades and decades and decades. It's been on the market since the 1950s. I think the first form of testosterone was methyl testosterone. It was oral, really bad for you. They ended up making injectable forms soon after. But if you look at large-scale prospective cohorts, men on TRT, they actually have lower all-cause mortality risk. If you look at randomized trials, again, there's no difference in lipid profile and blood pressure, even on very high doses of testosterone, up to 600 milligrams per week. So that's more testosterone than I've ever taken, and I'm actually juicing. Like, I'm on steroids for performance enhancement. So I'm juicing. I'm trying to get fucking jacked like Kazuya from Tekken 8. I have yet to take 600 milligrams of testosterone per week. Right now I'm on 437 milligrams. That's it. So if you're taking 600 milligrams, you're solidly juicing. Again, based on randomized trials, does not have negative effects on your lipid parameters. So you do see like slight reductions in HDL cholesterol, but not substantial. And you do not see increases in your LDL bad cholesterol. So from that standpoint, it is not bad for your cardiac system. Again, you do not see increases in blood pressure on the aggregate. So again, in terms of like kidney health, heart health, doesn't seem to have an effect. It's also a very potent vasodilator, which actually has beneficial effects for your heart. It's like one of the safest fucking drugs, and you can also look at how well tolerated it is. There's studies on tolerability. Testosterone, up to doses of 600 milligrams per week, which again, you are solidly fucking juicing. Men don't report any difference between that and placebo, where like, oh fuck, I can't handle the side effects. It is one of the most, it may in fact be the most well-tolerated drug ever made. The only thing that would basically you'd be in competition with are some of the blood pressure medications like ARBs. Modern ARBs, I think they're on the 6th or 7th or 8th generation of those drugs. They basically have no side effects and they only do what they're supposed to do. That's the only fucking drug in existence that could compete with testosterone for tolerability. One of the most well-tolerated drugs ever fucking made, and then this guy's trying to tell you, oh, don't ever do steroids. Your life will be ruined. You will hate yourself. Oh, the side effects are not worth it. It has better tolerability than practically any other fucking drug ever made. So if this guy is going to say the side effects of testosterone are not worth the benefits, that would disqualify literally every other fucking drug ever made. Ever. You should not take Tylenol. You should not take fucking Benadryl. Any fucking over-the-counter antihistamines, anti-inflammatory drugs, none of that. Those have less tolerability than testosterone. Any fucking medications that you're taking for your blood pressure, heart health issues, we're talking about like statins, cholesterol lowering medications, like, diabetic drugs, like anything. Do not take those, because if the standard is the benefits of testosterone aren't worth the risk, then all the drugs that have been studied and have lower tolerability than testosterone, that would mean it's not worth the risk. This guy is such a fucking idiot, like it is incomprehensible.
Steroids. What happens after you stop? So it was all this information pushed into me, but also this constant fear that if you're gonna get caught, you're gonna be in big trouble. But also,
so this guy is literally admitting to having an irrational bias, and like again, some fitness club owner is the one who's telling him this. This isn't anything that he actually researched. Just some fitness club owner is telling him, oh, the side effects aren't worth it. They're going to ruin your life. This isn't based on any research. And secondly, there's also social pressure where he's admitting, oh, he's going to get kicked out of the club, he's going to lose friends, his reputation is going to be ruined. So he's admitting to having some irrational bias when it comes to steroids.
So that their reputation was on the line, and they would practically destroy you if you would try to destroy their reputation. So there was none of that in my club. Every single competition, especially on the national level, we had an ad, aka the national WADA. So they would be on your case. Oftentimes I went to give urine samples, but also blood samples. Then when I started to do well, and I was in the national...
Let me tell you something about these drug testing organizations. They're the most corrupt, idiotic, retarded fucking scumbags on the fucking planet, and they exist to ruin athletes' lives. They're made up of fucking retarded loser scumbags who were never able to make it in sports. So they try to interfere with young athletes that are actually trying to make it and fucking ruin their lives because they're fucking jealous. These people will try to disqualify athletes from competition if they find fucking marijuana, if they like snorted a little bit of cocaine at a fucking party, if they took fucking Benadryl because they had a fucking allergy, if they took a fucking aspirin or something because their knee hurts, they'll fucking try to get them banned from the fucking competition. And again, it is just pure jealousy. You can look at the ban list of fucking drugs and substances on the WADA's website. It makes no fucking sense. It's incomprehensible and fucking stupid. And the only rational explanation is they're just trying to ruin athletes' lives. And you can look at the fucking people that are actually, in these organizations like WADA. They're former athletes that sucked at their sport. They would like play fucking baseball or something in college, and they sucked at it, and they got kicked from the team or something, and these same fucking assholes are the ones that are drug testing athletes. And again, they're out of this world fucking corrupt. Look at the fucking documentary on Netflix, Icarus or something. They just take money. They're fucking whores. Like, these people are fucking losers, and they just take money from China, Russia, or even just some specific coaches or something that have connections. They'll just take like $50, $60, $80,000 fucking payments to just not test the fucking Chinese Olympic team or the Russian Olympic team. Like again, this whole fucking joke about, oh, they took drug testing seriously and all this shit. Tell me, Lance Armstrong was the most drug-tested athlete in all of fucking sports history. He never failed one single fucking drug test. The only reason that guy got busted for doing drugs is because his fucking teammate ratted him out. He is the most fucking drug-tested athlete in all of fucking history. He was tested for drugs literally thousands of fucking times. How does that happen? How is he taking fucking performance-enhancing drugs, was tested more than any other fucking athlete on the fucking planet, and passed every single fucking time? It's because these fucking drug testing organizations are corrupt, retarded, fucking lying assholes who are all trying to benefit themselves. That's why they fucking exist. Why does anybody give two fucking shits what drugs anyone is fucking taking? It's none of their fucking business. You know why? It's because they're fucking jealous, they want to ruin people's lives, or they want to enrich themselves. And this guy is trying to act like these drug testing organizations, oh, they're legitimate and serious and they uphold the integrity of sport. No, they ruin people's fucking lives for their own fucking benefit. That's what they do. They're corrupt, lying fucking assholes. This guy is a fucking idiot.
When PPS say what ABT Iraq, Libya. The difference is that Iran used to be constitutional monarchy that was moving towards a secular society. Unlike Arab societies which historically didn't have democracies and progression towards secularism.
Yeah. Yeah, and then they got completely fucked over. France, and the UK, actually helped overthrow the Shah and institute the Islamic State. I can't remember exactly why they did it, but there was a bunch of insane, retarded foreign interference that basically fucked Iran over. Thanks for the donation, though, eh? Yeah, so again, this guy is like literally promoting sports corruption that ruins athletes' lives, makes sports like that much more unfair. And then he's talking about how, oh, it's upholding the integrity of sport. Like, again, this guy never competed in any high level in any fucking sport in his entire fucking life. This guy went on a bodybuilding stage at like shitty local fucking shows with a fucking Speedo on, and I'm an athlete upholding the integrity of sport. I don't do drugs. Like, just one of the most, like again, this guy has the brain of a fucking 9-year-old. Santa Claus exists. He's gonna give me presents this year because I've been a good boy.
Also, when Jenk says, if we install a Shah it will just lead to another regime change against the Shah. Pahlavi has said he is just a transition. Iranians were tricked into it. There ain't no way Iranians are letting Islam take them hostage again.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, totally. So yeah, like, the Iranian regime's gonna get clapped. I think over the course of our lifetime, we're gonna see the big, evil, bad people just collapse like dominoes. So, you know, the Iranian regime's gonna fall, the Russian regime's gonna fall. Next up, you're gonna see China take a dive. So that might take a very, like, that's, you know, decades down the line, might not even be in, like, my generation, but you're seeing the dominoes start to fall. Thanks for the donation, eh?
Team. We signed a paper basically giving this anti-doping agency the power to chase us at any given day, at any given moment. They could call you and request a blood sample, a urine sample, doesn't matter. It could be whatever, they would give you a 15-minute notice and then you had to give a sample. That's how it worked. But you know what? At the end of the day, I am so grateful for these people who taught me about natural bodybuilding, who made me understand the vicious cycle you can entrap yourself if you take steroids. The short, long...
Dude, like, I gotta, like, say this. The types of people who give a fuck if somebody's on performance-enhancing drugs are, like, the most scumbag, pathetic, basic bitch fucking losers on the fucking planet. Like, let's assume that there are some performance-enhancing drugs that are extremely dangerous. So, like, I don't know, maybe EPO or something, where you're raising your hematocrit to the 70s and you have to, like, make sure you don't sleep too long or else you can develop a blood clot. Well, guess what? Those people want to fucking win, and they want to win more than you do. So all this drug testing is for, like, the whole idea behind it, like, at least with idiots like this guy, is... oh, I don't want to win that bad. Let me hold other people back who really want to fucking win and will do whatever it takes so that, like, I have a better chance and I can be more competitive. You're just a fucking pussy, okay? So it's basically like making sure everybody in a fucking race can't go too fast. Like, oh, your car has fucking 800 horsepower in it. You can go really, really fast on the straights. That's dangerous. You're going 400 kilometers an hour? That's scary. Let's bring the horsepower down to 87 horsepower so that you can only go 90 kilometers. That is much safer. So then these, like, fucking incompetent fuckwits who aren't willing to take risks, who won't do what it takes to win, it can be competitive. Like, that's the only fucking... that's the reasoning behind this. So it's like, look... if you want to fucking be a loser, be a loser. Don't take risks. Don't do the fucking drugs needed to win. And then, like, go on with your fucking life. But no, these fucking loser, pathetic idiots want to hold everyone else back. Everyone has to be smaller, weaker, slower, less coordinated, less able to recover. Like, everyone has to be made fucking worse so that these fucking pathetic losers who are, like, risk adverse, drugs are scary, what about the side effects, needles make me scared, just so these fucking losers can like be like, I want to compete too, but I don't want to do what it takes to win. It's basically like letting girls play in men's sports and then forcing men to like not play as hard. Like that's basically what it is. So it's just beta male bitch fucking shit. That's all it fucking is. Dodo donated $2. Let me see.
My colleague Kate Dorr and I have been covering Trump accounts since the big beautiful bill passed last summer. While the concept behind these investment accounts is pretty straightforward, we still have a bunch of unanswered questions. I'm going to break down where our research has gotten us so far.
The idea behind this kind of makes sense, but it seems like one of the worst executions you can possibly have. It also makes me wonder if they're doing this shit, are they going to use this as an excuse to get rid of Social Security? Because in theory, you could get rid of Social Security if you actually were to properly implement something like this. But it's making me wonder if this is a stepping stone to them trying to get rid of Social Security.
And what we still don't know. When will Trump accounts open, and when can eligible families expect to see the seed money? This is a simple question, but the answer is a little more complicated than we expect.
Everyone please report Blaha. He's spamming the exact same audio track over and over again. Same as more
Veganism
examples
is a
in
mental
chat.
illness. Veganism is a mental illness, and it has.
Oh yeah. Wow, what a retard. I don't think you can get him to get a community guideline strike. Like, dude, nobody watches his videos. This is insane. Like, he can't even pass, like, 500 views. I don't even know what I'd have to upload to get less than 500 views in a video. Like, I'm pretty sure I could just upload a video of, like, black and still get more than 500 views. Like, yeah, but this guy is like, and then he wonders why his channel is like dead. Like, oh my God, dude. The laziness is just out of this world insane. He can't even bother to like just record some additional audio. Like, what does he do all day? We know he doesn't work a fucking actual job because he's too fucking lazy. We know he scammed the government out of money so that he gets like some stupid disability benefits. What did it, like he said he had that inner ear condition, and it's literally a condition that people use to scam disability benefits all the time because there's no objective test to see if anybody actually has it. Meniere's disease. Yeah, I think it was Meniere's or something. Like this guy has to have plenty of fucking free time. We also know he doesn't have many, if any, fucking training clients at this point. He can't even go out of his way to like just record some additional audio for like the videos he's uploading. Like, I wonder if this guy is like in serious cognitive decline too. It's just weird. Also, we know the reason he's filming in this living room, by the way. People have mentioned that he's basically renting out a house from this old lady, and it's only the one room and garage that he's really able to use. So he just went into the living room to film something to make it seem as though, oh, it's my house. Such a fucking dumbass. It's weird how people with, like, he has an extreme personality disorder issue. Thanks for the donation, though, Uncle Mike.
Expected. Once parents or guardians set up an account, there will be this authentication process, which is expected to begin sometime in May. And then the $1,000 pilot contribution from the federal government is expected to arrive on July 4th. There could be additional deposits that come from charitable organizations or local governments that happen around the same time. Maybe. The administration even suggested that following Connecticut's lead, all 50 states may offer some additional funding into the Trump accounts of eligible children. But those announcements are still TBD. Several employers have said that they will match the Treasury's seed money, but the timing of those contributions is also a little unclear. Only about 62% of Americans own stocks, so many families continually miss out on wealth-building opportunities. This aims to change that.
The goal behind Trump accounts is pretty straightforward, which is to bring everybody into the upside of the American economic engine.
Monday, July 6th will be the first day that money from Trump accounts is invested in the stock market.
Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent on Friday announced that they're approaching 2 million forms filed for Trump accounts, which represents accounts for about 3 million kids.
We talked to market researchers about how that inflow could impact the market and found that even with high participation rates, that cash injection is unlikely to move the needle much this summer.
Even if all the accounts were pre-funded and transacted on the same trading day, it would still represent a relatively modest percentage of the overall trading volume of index funds, much less the overall market as a whole. So we do not anticipate a meaningful short-term market impact. Of course, long-term, the more...
Like, this is genuinely a good idea. It's just the implementation doesn't seem particularly bad. Forcing people to actually invest in an index fund would probably make more sense than Social Security. Because, one, you'd probably make a lot more money from doing that. You wouldn't need this, like, weird Ponzi scheme of, more people buying into the fucking system for it to even, like, fucking work properly. And, it's also not going to taxes either. So you could have like a minimum amount that's like put in when you're born or something, or when you're a certain age. But then after that, you can add in as much as you want or none at all. And then you can just do whatever the fuck you want with your money. Like, one issue that a lot of people have with the fucking Social Security is, well, this money that's going into the fucking Social Security, I could actually be more productive with that money if I just invested it myself, which they have a point. It's just that most dumbasses like end up either not doing that or taking the money out when there's an emergency and then they don't have their retirement.
More Americans that understand the markets, the more Americans that are investing intelligently into long-term equities, we hope that will be beneficial to our economy as a whole.
Kate had a lot of interesting reporting on the tax implications for families.
One of the tricky things about Trump accounts is families are going to need to keep track of pre-tax and after-tax contributions. And that could be difficult for families, say, over an 18-year period from when a baby's born up until when the child gets control of the account at age 18, and then from 18 on. Otherwise, when they take money out, they could pay taxes on the entire withdrawal. So it's almost like you're paying taxes twice. If you had a direct...
Well, that's another problem with the Trump account thing. They need some like weird system where you're like forced to put your money into an index fund. You can't ever take it out until like a certain period, sort of like the Social Security. And then allow people to like pay into it more if they want, but they can't take the money out. Like, that's what they need. You don't want people to be able to withdraw it, like, especially if they want to have this replace Social Security.
Parent contribution, that's after taxes. You took that contribution out, there wouldn't be taxes on it, but the growth of that money would be taxed. And then
yeah, because like I can guarantee you, like, you're gonna run into the same problem that it happens to everybody. You have families that aren't particularly wealthy that are either living paycheck to paycheck or almost paycheck to paycheck. As soon as there's like some sort of emergency where somebody needs to come up with $5,000 real quick, where are they going to take it from? So, and then there goes your retirement later on. And like, you're going to have those sorts of emergencies like over and over again throughout your entire life. So that's the fundamental problem. If they just fix that problem, just force people to pay into an index fund and do not let them take the money out, that could replace Social Security and people would probably be better off anyway.
Medium side effect and how it can alter your mind and your body. But on top of that, having all this information in my...
So, steroids have beneficial effects on your mind, particularly if we're talking about testosterone. So, I brought this up in my Greg video where I made a response to that idiot fucking Greg. You can look at this. Association of testosterone treatment with alleviation of depressive symptoms in men, systematic review and meta-analysis. So this is a meta-analysis of randomized placebo-controlled trials. They found remarkable benefits to overall mood. And there was no significant difference between acceptability of testosterone treatment and placebo. They even found that testosterone treatment still had a benefit, like for mood, when the dosages were greater than 500 milligrams per week. So there may, in fact, not be an upper limit to the mood benefits to testosterone and mood. They tested, I think the highest they tested in the study was 600 milligrams per week. But there may, in fact, not be an upper limit, technically. You may find mood-enhancing benefits at 1 gram per week, or 1,500 milligrams a week, or 2 grams per week. I'm sure at those dosages, some of it may be individual because, like, at some point you are going to experience side effects and it's going to affect the way you feel or something. But, like, again, this idea this guy is trying to share, like, oh, steroids will make you feel terrible and you're going to feel frustrated and awful all the time and get angry and blah, blah, blah. Nope. He's an idiot. He's not sharing any research whatsoever to support his claims. This is just nonsense he made up. And there is, in fact, research on this, very good quality research, randomized placebo-controlled trials. There is a clear mood-enhancing benefit to testosterone. The mood-enhancing benefits are actually more powerful than antidepressant drugs like SSRIs, and testosterone has better tolerability than SSRIs. So, like, this guy's an idiot.
My head, it just really didn't make sense for me to do such a thing, especially when I saw that I can get results naturally. I went to the national competition, I won. I went to the European Championship, I placed in the top 6. I went to the World Championship, I placed 2nd place and 3rd place. So if I managed to do something like that in a natural way, why would I put my body through such a thing? It just didn't make sense. And don't get me wrong, I know these hormones are essential for males and females at some point in their lives. HRT, TRT, you name it. I'm all for that. Under doctor supervision, for health reasons.
Oh yes, under doctor supervision. So this fucking retarded asshole is spreading this nonsensical propaganda about how dangerous steroids are, immoral people who are lazy take them, all sports and everything should be drug tested. And then when he actually needs testosterone replacement therapy for whatever reason, because his body just stops naturally producing it as much because of like some sort of environmental exposure to like toxic pollutants or something, or maybe he gets some like horrific injury where he gets hit in the nuts, or maybe his testicle gets shot off or something, who knows. He's expecting to go to a doctor and a doctor will just prescribe him the medication. After all this propagandizing about how dangerous these drugs are and how horrible, yeah, why don't you ask Greg Doucette how fucking easy it was for him to get testosterone replacement therapy when he was near the age of 50 and he was hypogonadal. He had to go to 3 different fucking doctors until a single one would even fucking prescribe him. I know friends personally who were and I know this friend because he was a training client of mine when I was doing online coaching. The reason he figured out he had low testosterone was because I was coaching him. He was a beginner lifter, so he should have been able to progress linearly pretty easily. And I noticed he was stalling on a number of lifts, like in weird ways. Like he wasn't lifting that heavy to begin with. He had only really just started training, so he should be progressing linearly just fine. But there was a number of lifts that he was having a lot of problems progressing on. And I told him, you need to get your testosterone checked because like this is abnormal. Sure enough, he was hypogonadal, pretty severely hypogonadal. His testosterone was in I think the low hundreds or something. So he had to go to 3 different fucking doctors until even a single one would prescribe him. What was weird, he didn't even think about this. He got his testosterone checked when he was younger. He was hypogonadal then. The doctor told him your testosterone's low, and then he said, "Oh, well, like, is that a problem?" And then the doctor said, "Nah, it's fine. Just eat some avocados or something." They didn't even want to tell him how low his testosterone was because they were worried about him going on TRT. Because of idiots like this promoting this nonsensical propaganda about how dangerous steroids are. And this affects doctors. This affects all of society. And this idiot thinks he can say this shit, and then it doesn't have any actual consequences when you actually need to use these medications for legitimate medical purposes. Like, it's just so remarkably fucking stupid. Like, imagine if we had the same sort of social stigma around using wheelchairs. Oh, if you use a wheelchair, you're lazy, you're evil, you're corrupt, you just want to game the system. But I'm fine with somebody using a wheelchair, like if they genuinely need it, if they have like problems walking. Well, what do you think's going to happen if you get into a car accident and you have like damage to your spine and you need a wheelchair? Do you think it's going to be easy for you to go to a doctor and get a fucking wheelchair? Like, that's basically the situation he's creating.
100% for that. But it blows my mind and it saddens me that kids, teenagers, girls will take these powerful hormones.
Oh no. Teenage kids are getting bigger and stronger than me. What are they thinking?
They'll alter their mind.
Like the only legitimate concern that I would have with teenage kids taking anabolic steroids is, one, like they just don't know what they're doing. Like, you can run into side effects with these drugs, especially at higher doses, where you probably want to know if you like what doses you should be taking, how to titrate the dose properly, what ancillary medications you might need, depending on what drugs you're taking, stuff like that. A lot of teenage kids are going to be like probably too ignorant to take some of these drugs safely. Secondly, like they probably don't have the maturity to avoid drugs like Tren or something. They should probably just stick to testosterone, or something like Anavar that's safer. Three, like if they do run into issues like gynecomastia or something, they're not going to have the money to actually treat those problems. And if they need any ancillary medications, like, you know, if their blood pressure is high, they might not be able to afford some of those meds. So again, probably better to just wait until you're a bit older and have a job and have a bit more maturity and knowledge. And the only real concern I'd have with a teen, like outside of those other problems, those practical issues, taking steroids, is there's biological plausibility that it can stunt your growth. So steroids that aromatize, they could stunt your growth. The reason your growth plates close is because of aromatization into estrogen. So if you're taking high doses of testosterone or something and you're producing more estrogen than you would normally, that could stunt your growth and you're going to be shorter. I don't know if that's actually a thing though, because like Arnold Schwarzenegger, I think he got to an adult height of like 6'1" or 6'2". Apparently he was taking Dianabol when he was 15. His pediatrician prescribed him Dianabol. And Dianabol aromatizes, and it actually aromatizes into a much more potent form of estrogen called methyl-estrogen. So I don't know. I don't know about that. Apparently he was also on nandrolone when he was in his teens, either 16 or 17. It doesn't technically aromatize, but it has a progestogenic effect, which increases the potency of estrogen. There's a bunch of other examples too, like Clavicular. He started taking testosterone when he was 16, and he's like 6'1" or 6'2". Larry Wheels, he was taking steroids when he was a teenager. I think again exactly when he was 16, and he grew up to I think 6'1" or 6'2". You can find plenty of examples of people getting to over 6 foot tall. Androgenic, same thing. I think he started taking steroids when he was like 16 or 17, and he's, I think, like 6'5" or 6'6" or something, really tall. So, like, generally speaking, if you're taking testosterone for performance enhancement, chances are you're going to keep your estrogen like below like 60 anyway. Like for most people, like over that, a lot of people end up getting estrogenic side effects like sensitive nipples, if not gynecomastia, bloating, stuff like that. So I don't know if that's enough to actually stunt growth. So who knows? But yeah, this idea that, oh no, kids are taking steroids, who the fuck cares? Like, as if that's worse than taking like alcohol or fentanyl or weed, which we know are much more dangerous drugs.
And their body for the rest of their life. As I said before, taking years out of their life, destroying their fertility, destroying their
I don't know how you figure it's taking years off their life.
mental health. Up until
I don't know how you figure it's destroying their mental health.
25 years old, when the brains are developing, it's so...
Your brain is constantly developing and changing. The whole thing, your brain doesn't stop developing until 25, is just made up nonsense. Like, by the way, there's difference between male and female brains. Like, if we're going to say androgens are bad for your brain, then is it bad to be male? Well, last I checked, men are smarter than women. There's a reason why, like, there's women's chess tournaments. It's because they can't compete against men. So in all fucking cognitive tasks, men outcompete women, and we have much higher levels of androgens. So if androgens are so bad for your fucking brain and all this shit, then why aren't women smarter? Why aren't they earning more money? Like, it's just nonsense.
so important that people stay away from this kind of stuff. But I know now you will tell me, oh, what about Mr. Olympias? What about Arnold? What about all these people who take before they are 25? They have to take because they want to be on the stage, they want to compete. Let's say 1,000 people take steroids. Maybe 1% of these people have the genetics and the mindset and the dedication to actually do the right things in order to get there. But the other 990 or whatever, they're gonna be screwed. They're gonna be ruining their life. So on a macro level, for me, it's not worth it.
That is absolute retardation. Just about every man should be on testosterone. There may be rare cases where, for whatever reason, there's contraindications with the drug. I can't really think of any like disease in particular where you wouldn't want to take testosterone, but I mean, I could assume there may be some disease or genetic issue you have where you might not want to take testosterone, or maybe if you're like super hypersensitive about hair loss, or like you absolutely need to have children or you'll kill yourself and you're like any risk to your fertility you don't want to take. I don't know, something like that. Like, but 99% of people should be on testosterone. There's just no reason not to. You're going to be physically healthier, better. It seems to have benefits for cardiovascular health. It improves insulin sensitivity. It improves fat distribution. It reduces the amount of visceral fat that you have on your body in particular. So it likely would benefit, from protecting against obesity, diabetes, heart disease. You have more muscle mass, you feel better. It has all these cognitive mental health benefits. You're more motivated. It's dopaminergic and GABAergic. So you'd probably on the aggregate see people work harder, make more money, be more productive, feel better. There's just no reason for men to not be on testosterone. So, there's a difference between taking steroids and taking 1,500 milligrams of tren, right? So, what is this guy talking about exactly? This guy is so fucking remarkably ignorant on the topic. He doesn't exactly know what he's trying to warn people against.
And I hope in the future, if people will stumble upon my videos, will stumble upon my channel, will see...
I'm up late, not up early. Shit's been fucked lately.
what I was able to achieve in 15 years since I'm training. We'll see what I achieved with other people who I help with training, who I help change their physiques, who I help compete, and the results that they get with natural means. Because first and foremost, this should be your aim. To train natural, to compete natural, to even taste to see if you like being on stage, if you are able to do that crazy diet. But it's so crazy that so many coaches nowadays, the moment you say to someone, I'd like to do a competition, they will give you a massive list with lots of...
Oh, dude, Ronnie Coleman has 8 kids. And apparently he conceived them all when he was competing. Dude, you sound completely retarded. Make an argument. Actually, you know what? Debate me in Discord or I'm banning you. You've crossed the line. You're a fucking idiot. Let me see. Vegan gains, public, debate room, invite to server, copy link. There you go. So Sensei Johnny, if you don't debate me in Discord, you're banned. There's the link. You either have that option or just apologize, say you don't know what you're talking about and you overreacted and you're not confident on the topic to decide whether or not I'm right or wrong. That's your only other option. So debate me or make that sort of apology or you're banned. I'll give you a few minutes if you don't have a Discord account or something, but you're banned otherwise. Forgot about Ronnie, lol, 1 kid for each Olympia win. Yeah. Well, that's what happens a lot of the time, right? So they get especially horny when they're on like certain doses of drugs. So like when they're competing for a show and then they keep coming, and their fucking girlfriend when they're competing and then, they conceive. I don't debate retards who are transphobic and homophobic. Okay, so 1, you're banned. 2, I don't know how the fuck I'm transphobic or homophobic. Wait, like, especially transphobic. I can see, like, the homophobic thing because I've been calling people faggots and shit, but transphobic? I've literally debated people on trans women are women. Like, I went on fucking Andrew Wilson's show arguing that trans women are women. I call, like, fucking conservative idiots who hate trans people fucking retarded bigots. I've talked about how Matt Walsh and that whole, like, the whole Ben Shapiro enclave of people, they're, like, genocidal fucking freaks who hate trans people. I've criticized them all for that. Where the fuck did you get the idea that I'm transphobic? And homophobic. You know I have an OnlyFans where I cater to gay men. Like, I give a fuck if anybody is gay.
Steroids that you need to take. Bulking agents, cutting agents, androgenic agents, anabolic agents, which will create havoc in your body.
So dumbasses be banned. So, no. Again, he's just making shit up. Literally no research linked at all.
Them forever. At some point you have to stop. And what do you think then will happen? You won't be able to bounce back. And
you do not ever have to stop taking steroids. I don't know where the fuck you got that idea.
Then you're screwed. So what the fitness industry actually misses are knowledgeable, truthful, ethical, natural athletes, coaches, basically mentors.
This, like, again, Santa Claus is real, guys. Trust me. This is somebody who's completely and utterly ignorant about high-level professional sports. Like, it is insane. My God, dude. Like, it's just so weird how beta male these people's thinking, like, they literally cannot even conceptualize the idea that some dudes are, like, more masculine than them and they care about winning and being better and competing. Like, oh, and they have this, like, childlike mindset where they think, oh, if you test for steroids, nothing can go wrong. It's not like these organizations are corrupt and immoral in any way. Like, my God.
Who can mentor the upcoming generations, who can mentor these kids and these teenagers. But 95% of the people who are famous nowadays are on drugs or are fake naturals. The system...
Oh, weird. So if you want to be successful, taking drugs is a good idea. Oh. You can't make this shit up. Like, how fucking stupid these people are. Like, my God. I think there's been some research on this, where, like, you know, back in the day, kids would talk about wanting to be, like a celebrity or something, like an actor or some crap. Now, like, the majority of kids want to be YouTubers. Like, they want to be YouTube famous and shit. Like, that's the thing. This guy is literally telling his audience after this whole spiel about how you should never take drugs. If you want to be YouTube famous in the fitness industry, take drugs. Like, it's fucking hilarious.
Social media, algorithms, you name it, reward that, which is insane. We need a movement in our fitness industry. A movement of nutty crusaders will push.
This guy has 7.4k subs. No one watches his channel. Like, my God. Like 596 views. Like, he's not even breaking 1,000 on most of his videos. We need to band together and make sure everyone is a loser who has less muscle and looks less impressive and is weaker than everyone else. Holy shit, man. Yeah, good luck with that.
Push this message, will push this agenda, and hopefully save some people down the line, preventing them from taking steroids, staying natural, becoming...
Yeah. So, I hate to break it to you, dude, but we're all dead. Like, there's no escaping the ultimate doom of death. So what do you mean saving people? Whether they take steroids or not, they're dead either way. So, like, it's just bizarre that the best argument he can make is you might live like 3, 4, 5 years less than you would otherwise. Okay, so how about I get jacked, make more money, get more pussy, and have 5 years shaved off the end of my life? That's a worthwhile trade-off to me. Like again, this is the best argument he could possibly make. It's just fucking retarded.
Becoming the best version of themselves with natural means. So that's my personal crusade. I'm here to help the industry. I'm here to help people, to show them the other side, steer them away from the dark side, keep people healthy, keep people natural. Overall, help.
What a remarkably stupid person, just wasting his fucking time. Like, this is the definition of rolling a boulder up an icy hill. Yeah, everyone's a fucking joke, dude. Let me think. I don't know what the best course of action would be. My sleep schedule is just totally fucked. It's gonna be 1 degree today. You're in British time now. Do you feel more gay? No. I was actually thinking of watching some lesbian ass-eating porn. Well, I gotta do the garbage. It's Monday, right? Yeah, it's a Monday. I'll put the garbage out. I might just go to the store to get soup because I am really fucking craving soup for some reason. I just really, really want some good lentil soup. Then, I gotta train back. I guess I'll try training it back in, like early afternoon or before noon. Once I get all that done, and then maybe just try to have an afternoon nap, and then stream at like a reasonable time. You know, your food is hooked up to an automatic feeder, right? It's 7 a.m. every single morning. It has not changed. So, yeah, we'll be doing that. But, big thanks to everybody who donated on Streamlabs. Really appreciate it. I'll be on later today, so I'll see you all then. And sweet dreams, everybody. Or good morning, I guess, depending on where you are.